they went through IVF 9 times for procedures. 9 times. Believe it or not, yes. So
Okay.
That is
9 times.
that's
9 times.
9 times.
yes, Marissa.
that's a lot on her body.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Before they welcomed their 2 sons, Felix and Magnus. They were born via gestational surrogacy and are now 13 years old and 15 years old, respectively.
I kind of dig the name Magnus.
That is a cool name.
Yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth, who exploded on the scene as Nadia in the American Pie films, is hoping to once again have fans dying to see her. She announced yesterday that she was joining OnlyFans. She says, OnlyFans gives me the opportunity to offer something more.
Where are the strippers?
A behind-the-scenes, unfiltered look at my life and a genuine connection that no other platform allows.
To be honest, the crazy amount of huge money that we've seen star after, quote-unquote star after star, get involved and start cleaning up.
Yeah.
So,
Is she going to do naked stuff?
I don't know.
or-
I mean, that's always the
yeah.
question. I'm guessing, I don't, who knows? She's probably going to be coy about it.
Yeah.
No word yet, it says, on exactly how unfiltered her OnlyFans will be, but we'll know more when it goes live later on today. I mean, sometimes they don't. You know, I mean, it's not, I mean, it has that reputation because you can if you want to, and a lot of people do make a lot of money for nudity and sex and stuff like that, but not everybody does that.
Who's the one who got sort of in trouble for sort of saying that they were going to do it and did not?
Was Bella Thorne?
Bella Thorne.
Yeah, that was kind of in its infancy.
Right,
yeah,
right. And so the suggestion was that would happen. Did you ever see Not Another Teen Movie, Preston?
No.
So they have the character that's all a parody, basically a parody of this movie. An American Pie and others as well, parodying a parody.
The teen sex comedies.
Yeah, but the character playing the Shannon Elizabeth character is flat out naked throughout the entire series.
No kidding.
Flat out naked, like on a school naked.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, listen to this. No surprise here. TMZ is reporting that Lindsay Lohan's stepmom, Kate Lohan, has been arrested for allegedly attacking her ex, Lindsay's dad, Michael Lohan.
I'm surprised more people aren't attacking him on a regular basis.
I agree.
I mean, he is a throbbing, glowing douchebag.
Throbbing, glowing douchebag. That is a great way to put it.
Don't you think at a certain age you should shed your douchebaggery? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But some people, once a douchebag, always a douchebag.
I mean, I'm still a throbbing douchebag as well, and so I'm hoping that at a certain point into my 50s, the douchebaggery will go. But
so we're looking at him. He's
yeah.
got a muscle shirt on with the tats and the backward hat, and come on, man.
Some people need to be in therapy all the time.
Yeah.
Because whatever guidance they've had just hasn't panned out exactly. I mean, listen, who knows exactly what happened in the scenario, but there's a common thread that runs through these
he
stories.
Has a tumultuous life. Remember, he got in trouble for like beating up an uncle, and he's had a steady string of incarcerations. But I mean, the look that he has right now, we're looking at a picture of him. You know that guy gets AARP magazine delivered to the house. You know, stop it.
Yeah. Flip
it,
through that magazine.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it'll calm you down a
Look
little
what
bit.
those guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, though, because he's the one who got beat up, and we're
I know, we're
dogpiling-
beating up on him.
Yeah.
Well, he was involved with I don't know, 2 or 3 girlfriends ago, and they were beating each other up. There's no justification for it, but this is kind of his MO.
So according to court documents, Kate is accused of intentionally and recklessly causing bodily injury to Michael on Tuesday. Sources told TMZ that Kate was at the house when she and Michael were supposed to exchange their kids when things went south. Kate reportedly became violent, punching Michael and giving him a bloody nose.
Oh, that's not good.
She also allegedly grabbed a steak knife and threw it at her ex. TMZ says that Michael wasn't injured by the knife and that it bounced off his chest.
You scuffed my lid.
Cops arrived shortly afterwards and arrested her. Kate is due in court for arraignment later today. But sometimes, Casey, I know we're beating up on him, but, crazy and crazy try to cohabitate.
It doesn't work.
And it usually doesn't work.
So he's wearing some sort of pass wrist thing, like you can see.
In this picture we're looking at, yes.
I think that's Legoland, Preston.
Oh, is that what it is? You're trying to get into Legoland.
I want to see him.
All right, remember the whole toxic mom group thing? Ashley Tisdale wrote an essay for The Cut several months back about her negative experiences with a group of fellow mothers and several who are famous. And the internet sleuths soon ID'd. One of those involved was singer Meghan Trainor, though Trainor said she hadn't really interacted with the group for over a year before the essay came out. Even so, she was kind of dragged into things as it blew up, but she kept a sense of humor about it. She said, "I don't really know what happened, but I wish them all the best. I texted all of them, and Ashley texted me and said, 'I'm sorry your name got dragged in.' And I was like, 'It's all right, girl. The world's a silly, crazy place, and
Yes.
they just want something to talk about.'" Yes.
Well, listen, you've often boasted about how well you handle your girl squad, and there's a lot of demands. The other people in this thing seem to indicate that it wasn't as big as. I mean, it was in the entertainment news for like a month straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you sort of see this stuff, right? And we're not like filthy rich, tons of money people. We're not Hollywood elite.
You think this might be a byproduct of the filthy rich, tons of money crowd?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's the same everywhere you go.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
The same dynamics, no matter what you you think you're better than us.
But you're simultaneously jockeying for your own position, right?
Yeah,
your
yeah.
own social sort of position, but you're also jockeying for your children's social position. I've seen it. Social engineering, inviting kids over and not inviting kids over to your house. Organizing these little events and leaving little Billy out or whatever. And I mean, it does happen.
Sure.
It's just that we're not high profile people and they are. So
it's highlighted because they're in the spotlight of sorts. So
Yes.
I know what you're saying. It's a common issue.
One of the funniest takes on it was Modern Family with Cam and Mitch. They're trying to get their daughter into this daycare.
Yeah.
And they go, we're going to nail this because we're the gay couple and we're going to come in. And they go, there's another gay guy with his kid. And go, damn it.
All right, it could be, I got to talk about Summer House, right? Yeah, I guess so. It could be a short trip for Summer House to the House of Representatives.
Wow.
Luke Goldbrinson, who starred on the Bravo reality series from season 4 through season 6, is running for Congress in Minnesota.
So I think we should have jetpacks.
Dude, I would vote for a jetpack.
The jetpack.
I would absolutely vote for a jetpack contender.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
But you like it though, don't you, Mitch?
I kind of do, because I love to feel my neck fat ruffle in the breeze.
Goldbrinson is looking to challenge Representative Pete Stauber, the Republican incumbent for the state's 8th congressional district. In a video announcing his candidacy, Goldbrinson says, "Yeah, I've been on reality TV, but that's drama for show. What's happening in D.C. is real drama with real consequences, and the stakes couldn't be higher." So he's running for office.
I bet you, and we know this for a fact, if you look at the dynamics and all the scandalous stuff that goes on within D.C., it would eclipse any reality show.
Yeah. All right. So Steve sent me this article. This was sad news to see. One of our favorite movies is Cool Hand Luke.
Love it.
It's a masterpiece. And 1960s screen siren Joy Harmon, who wowed fans in Cool Hand Luke, has died at age 87. She was known for her sultry turn as car washer Lucille.
Gotta be named Lucille.
That's my Lucille over there. It's George Kennedy.
Yeah.
So great in that movie. It was in 1967. It's a classic, obviously, Paul Newman. She passed away at her Los Angeles area home on Tuesday, surrounded by her loved ones. The actress, who later pivoted to running a successful bakery in Burbank, California, had been sick with pneumonia for several weeks before her death. Harmon was said to have fought until the end and was expected to recover before her death. She had been working. She was in good enough condition. She was working at the bakery like the day before she was hospitalized.
It's so sad. That iconic scene. Are you familiar with it? Are you guys familiar with the scene in Cool Hand Luke?
Yes.
The chain gang is working. Luke is one of the members of the chain gang. The movie's
It's hot
focused on him.
outside.
Super
They're
hot.
sweating.
Take it off here, boss. And there's this house across, shack, basically. She comes out and knowingly starts to drive these guys nuts.
She starts washing a car.
Yeah.
She's like spilling out of this top she's wearing. She never says a word in this whole thing.
But she's grinning because she knows.
She ends up soaping up the windows, and she's rubbing her boobs all over the windows. And it might be George Kennedy or one of these guys goes, "Oh, she doesn't know what she's doing." And Paul Newman's line is, "Oh, she knows exactly what she's doing." But it's iconic. And so she was known for that, but she also did other films, Steve. I remember her in Village of the Giants.
Absolutely. With Jeff Bridges, Bo Bridges.
And Angel in My Pocket. That was, Andy Griffith starred in that, as well as TV roles on Bewitched, The Odd Couple, and Batman and stuff like that.
Do you know, during the scene, I was reading about this yesterday, reading her obituary, they weren't there. She just did the scene solo. And when the guys were reacting, when they actually shot the chain gang members, they just had a kind of a woman in a cheerleader outfit.
Oh, so I just read this in this article, Steve. It said, ahead of the filming of the car wash scene, the male cast playing the inmates were forbidden to bring their wives or girlfriends. And she had said they wanted the guys to not be around women for a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess they wanted them just salivating over a girl. But the 3-minute scene instantly made her an enduring pinup in the 1960s and a harbinger of the more open sexuality of the emerging new Hollywood. By the way, she was kind of discovered by Groucho Marx.
I heard that, yeah.
And she was on his quiz show, You Bet Your Life, and ended up working in like the second version of it. And he really liked her and helped her along. So.
And the word was she's super cool, very pleasant, and that her bakery was amazing.
Yeah. So sad news. She had passed away at the age of 87. Cate Blanchett is set to take on the role of Martha Stewart in an upcoming biopic, with the lifestyle icon herself confirming the news while hinting at the project. When asked about the idea of being portrayed by Blanchett on a red carpet on Tuesday, Stewart said, "I hope so. I've been hearing rumors," before adding, "I think there's something in the works right now with Cate Blanchett called Good Thing." The film title, of course, nods to her signature phrase, "It's a good thing," and will be directed by Jensa Bravo. Martha didn't mention if she's involved in the new project, but the approval goes a long way since she's denounced every film about her life, including the 2024 Netflix doc Martha, as well as the 2003 movies Martha Inc., the story behind Martha Stewart, and the 2005 sequel Martha Behind Bars. Why would she not approve of Martha
I
Behind
loved
Bars?
it. Yeah, show more of that. Cate Blanchett as playing you, that's a pretty good score.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
And they're taking some liberties. She plays also an FBI agent who gets with a local street racing gang to infiltrate a drug lord.
Oh.
So it's pretty crazy.
Didn't know that.
They're taking some liberties with her story.
But I think Cate Blanchett that's a good choice for Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer is back thanks to AI in the trailer for the upcoming film As Deep as the Grave. Kilmer, of course, passed away last year, but before he died, he was cast in the movie as Father Fenton, a Catholic priest and Native American spiritualist. Unfortunately, he became too ill to shoot his role. And now, with the approval of his family, the production team used generative AI to include him in the finished film. I don't know how much he's in it. It can't be.
I saw some stills.
Starring role. I watched the trailer of it. It's out today. And they show little clips of him speaking and everything.
Yeah.
At first glance, it looks legit. It looks real.
But you go in knowing it,
Yeah. Corte Voorhees, the film's writer and director, says that the actor's role in the film is substantial. Here you go, with over an hour of screen time.
That's a hell of a lot of screen time.
If we found out it was for like the money, like the family, like he signed the contract, he was receiving the money, and they decided that this would be a good financial decision, would we be more okay with it?
I think,
okay with their decision, I guess, but I just don't know if I like the whole thing. But listen, then again, they've already done it in the Star Wars franchise. Yeah. So
I mean, are we more okay with it if Val Kilmer was the one who said, "Yeah, go ahead and do this"?
Absolutely. Especially, and that's what they're starting to do now. A lot of these actors. There is this whole maelstrom of stuff going on with this. The reaction actually is very negative to a lot of this.
Yeah,
I'm going to be curious to see how this is received. On the larger scale.
All right, so I don't want to say we're all being hypocritical, but we were all okay with John Lennon and JFK being in Forrest Gump.
it was novelty at the time, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
But now they have the ability to, and you could tell that the technology wasn't quite there. You had to kind of go, okay, I see what they're doing. But this is going to be a little bit more detailed and look a little bit more realistic. And
that was a gimmick. That was you're placing a fictional character in these things we know that didn't happen. Here you're saying, and I don't know how this is going to play out. We're going to know about Val Kilmer in this ahead of time. It's
How did you guys feel about the mom in The Sopranos?
I didn't see it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The actress died in the middle of filming, and so they continued on with scenes of her like CGI'd in, and I don't know if they mixed them up or if they did it. But if you guys didn't watch it, then it doesn't count.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember that being as prominent, but okay.
But but just how far is it going to be taken? That's my we're going to get John Wayne. You know, they're going to bring him back from the dead. You know, I don't know. Classic old.
It's very goddamn ridiculous.
You're glitching, John.
Yeah. You know what pissed me off is
Duke Headroom.
The Duke is glitching.
It pissed me off a couple of weeks ago. I was on Instagram, and this song, and so a lot of times I'll find music through Instagram, and this song came on, and it was just the video was of a record player, spinning, and this song came on, and Steve, Press, Marissa, I loved it. I love this song. I had never heard it before. It was like this throwback to 70s like R&B. And I was like, and it was soulful. And I was like, okay. And then I did a little bit of research and I wanted to find the song to download it. It was an AI song. Yep. And
so here's
made me so mad. I was like, I can't. I'm not going to do it.
Listen to Ben Affleck's. He gave it kind of a very interesting interview about AI and the applications. Yep. AI will be able to write great songs, and it will write bad songs. It will be no better and no conceivably worse than humans. But the thing is that do you want to be moved by a song written by a computer, or do you want to be moved by a song by a human who had human feelings and that you can connect to?
So me personally, I want to be connected. I want a soul-to-soul connection.
Yes,
with
and
my
you're
music.
not going to get that with your toaster.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I understand that. All right, guys, I have one last story, then we'll move on to the clips. The White Lotus Season 4 headed to France, with filming set around the Cannes Film Festival on the French Riviera. The new season will follow guests and staff over 1 week where things will likely get pretty hectic. Filming locations include luxury spots like the Ariel Chateau de la Messandre and the Hotel Martinez, with additional scenes in Saint-Tropez, Monaco, and Paris. A large ensemble cast is confirmed, featuring Helena Bonham Carter, Kumail Nanjiani, Steve Coogan, Max Greenfield, and more.
That's a good cast. And then A.J. Michalka from the Goldbergs. Oh, yeah. She's on it as well, I understand.
While production will overlap with the festival, it is unclear if filming will happen during the actual event itself, but it's going to kind of have that background, I guess.
That series has proven such a travelogue.
Oh, man.
What that series has done for tourism. It's unbelievable. If you're to take lifestyles of the rich and famous and just pair it with really good drama and bizarre. I remember the last season with the brothers.
My God. Yeah.
That's
I know.
what?
I know. I mean, first of all, how do you outdo that, right?
Yeah.
How do you outdo the guy taking a dump in a suitcase, right?
Well, yeah, do it. The next season, it's just they one up each season.
They do, yeah.
So we'll see where they go. But you're right, Steve. If you've got a ton of cash, then this is giving you an idea where to travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I got clips for you. Ghosts follows group of specters learning to live with a couple who moved into the manor that they all reside in. And here, Richie Moriarty expresses his appreciation for the success of the show.
It's rare enough that you get to do we'll be entering the 6th season of a show, which feels near impossible in this day and age. But to be making something that is connecting with so many people, just really filled with gratitude for that.
Shut the f*** up!
New episode of Ghost airs tonight. That's at 8:30 on CBS. Next clip. Another shift at the overcrowded, underfunded Pittsburgh hospital is coming to a close in the pit. And here, Catherine Lanaza explains how you don't always need A-list actors to make a successful show.
John Wells and Scott and Noah were unafraid to hire unknown actors, actors that had theater background, and just put us all together. And it wasn't like they got a whole bunch of name people in there that everybody knew. They proved that you don't need that to make a great show. And they just knocked it out of the park.
My tummy
She's phenomenal on
Yeah.
that show. That's Dana, Nurse Dana. So season 2 finale of The Pit airs tonight, 9:00 on HBO Max.
You've been happy with this season?
Yeah. It's it wasn't as dynamic as the last 2 seasons, but still, I enjoy every bit of it.
Well, also, the conceit, that it takes place. It's like when the first season of 24 was great. Second season was good.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like, oh, okay,
Yeah, and you have to remind yourself that it's one day.
One day.
It's supposedly one day. And so you're watching these relationship dynamics, and you got to remember this is a single day. This is
Right.
not, the months that you've been watching it. So that's pretty interesting. All right, and there you go. Your entertainment report all in a nice little package for you this morning. All right, we have a lot going on today. Dionne Warwick will be on our show today.
Legend.
She's going to be joining us around a little after 9:00 this morning. David Oyelowo will be on the program as too. Actor. He was amazing in Selma.
Oh, my God. As Martin Luther King.
Yeah, so he's talking about the movie Newborn, which is in theaters nationwide. And then comedian Mike Rainey will be here, or joining us as well. We'll be back in just a moment as we are taking a break. A lot of stuff to get to today. We hope you'll hang out for a bit. It's nice, toasty warm. Let's all huddle together and stay even warmer. We'll be right back.
Netflix and HBO and these kind of things is that a good portion of the TV viewing public is not viewing classic TV, A, and B, they're watching it on their phones, their phones, and or iPads, which you can carry with you anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need an affixed stand.
But if you do want a larger screen, this is a better option because it's a 32-inch screen as opposed to a pad is going to be about as big as you get.
With your kids, quote unquote kids, in general, large screen TV sitters or mostly computer?
They do both. So they'll spend some time on the phone, but if they're going to watch a movie or a show, it's on the TV.
On the TV.
On the screen,
Okay, yeah.
I'm still laughing that I said my son's brother.
Should we just hang there for a little while? Okay.
No, because I wanted to say
It's a game. It's a game.
It's a kid, my son's brother. Sorry. When you were coming up, when you were a little kid, how many TVs did you have?
Okay, I'll tell you, like teenage years.
Yeah.
So we had the living room television. We had one in the basement, and then one in my room, my sister's room, and my parents' room. So we had 5 TVs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was the TV in the main room. My parents had a TV in their bedroom. That was it. Then my older brother, Gene, got a black and white. These are all black. I mean, I go way back.
Yeah.
And then we finally had den, parents' bedroom, my bedroom, and one in the basement.
Yes, we had 2 essentially. We had a room called the TV room, and that was upstairs.
Yeah.
But we did have a black and white TV that was in the kitchen. And that wasn't connected to cable. So that was like strictly to like maybe watch the news when you're eating lunch or dinner or whatever.
Right.
We had one black and white TV that lasted a long time, and the thing that was unique about this particular black and white television, it was a fairly small one. I'm holding out my arms, about this big, and in its later years, as the picture would get a little bit iffy, we would beat the piss out of that.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Smack it as hard as you could. And you know what?
It would work.
It would work.
It would work.
You'd just hit it.
Smacked. We had an Admiral or maybe a Philco, these old brands, and Preston, I'd rabbit punch,
bang,
like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then I attached her closed wrench to the on and off button on the top. And my brother and I were in the same room. I was the turn on guy. There was the rope in the middle. And I'd have the rope, and then when we were going to sleep, I'd toss the rope over to his bed
And you turn it off.
All right.
That's great.
Follow-up question. What TV show do you think of when you think of that television?
On that particular one,
Yeah.
that one, The Night Stalker. That's
Okay.
a movie, and then I remember clearly when we got our first color television set. Yes, that's my frame of reference, chronologically speaking. I remember for the first time ever seeing that Wile E. Coyote had yellow eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No kidding. Because when I ask you that question, I think of 2 things: tic-tac-toe for some reason,
Right.
And I just
Two
remember,
girls in a cup.
No. I'm just going to say the news, but in particular, it was the Russia conflict in the Middle East.
Ah,
because I thought the world was going to end.
I probably think of reruns of Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
Because that would be on in the morning before school.
Great show.
And I would go in, and that was in black and white. So, all right. But anyway, they have this. If you want to get the S2 or the S6 Follow Me, it runs on battery power for up to 10 hours. So that means you can move it around. You don't have to plug it in. That's kind of the unique thing about it, I think.
And it's clearly
besides the fact that it's on a stand and a roller.
It's a Wi-Fi set.
It also has anti-glare coating to help it work in bright spaces like kitchens or patios. Hisense designed it for people who want a screen that goes where they go. It reminds me of, have you ever been to in some medical offices?
Yeah.
Like they roll their monitors around from place to place.
So a lot of people use these monitors as like extended iPads. You know, they make touch screens that are that size for that same purpose.
Yeah, I don't think this is a touch screen.
No, it's not.
But this is for just watching shows or whatever you may be doing.
I want to watch Leave It to Beaver in here.
So it says that it uses Wi-Fi 6 and, Steve, touchscreen for controls.
There you go.
Instead of a remote. There you go. They have not yet announced pricing or release date as of yet, so it's still kind of in advanced conceptual phase.
I would love to see them attach sort of an electric scooter to the bottom of it so you could drive your TV around town.
And you could be watching some cool exotic location and think you're driving around there.
Yeah, we need all of this so much.
All right, that's the last thing.
That was a junk drawer. Preston's closing up his junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer. Until next time, that was the junk drawer.
One day we'll put some champagne glasses in here.
Yeah, they'll
See
just
if I can
explode while you're in the middle of that. Flyers had a hell of a game last night against the Ducks. In fact, I'll let Paul Newman describe the action.
Old-time hockey?
Oh, well, that wasn't Paul Newman. That was a different clip from Slapshot. Ryan probably doesn't know who Paul Newman is. I had him grab the clip, but that's still old-time hockey.
DeBoer gave it up.
Oh, and then this was a clip I was going to play after that. I thought we were going to stay with that last clip. But here's a little bit of the action from last night.
DeBoer gave it up. Zegras scores. Trevor Zegras against his former club has his 16th of the year. York gives it up. They score. It's Zegras. Zegras has his second on the power play. Trevor Zegras is making a point to his former club.
A team that might have given up on you, Trevor, and you come in here, you pot two in that first period. How good did that feel? Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Trevor dropped a couple live F-bombs last night. And what we didn't have was Tim Saunders telling somebody to blow him.
Oh, my God.
On that particular clip. But nonetheless, we're welcoming a good friend to our program today. Please give some love. He does color now on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Our friend Scott Hartnell is joining us. What's up, Hartsy?
Not much, guys. That's quite the intro there. A couple great sound bites there for sure.
Oh, my God. Listen, man, I know he was excited, Zegras, obviously, but he did know he was on television when he said that, right?
I would assume, and I don't know if he just felt comfortable because it was me, former player. I met him around the rink a bunch of times, and it was just kind of him and I chatting. But when that kind of happens, you get kind of pure gold answers, right? And I didn't know what to say, right? I'm like, and he says that, I was like, okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, you didn't react.
I mean, listen, man, you go from professional athlete to broadcaster. You don't know how to handle that. I mean, it's, you're on the other end of it.
Well, and
years.
that very well could have been you giving that exact same answer.
I know, and it's actually probably the most nervous I get, doing the analyst work, the color work, whatever, is asking an athlete a question, right? We were asked questions for, 20 years when you're 15 years old, you're starting to get good. And then, a couple articles in the paper, and all you do is answer questions all the time. And my first time in the studio was at NHL Network. A coach got fired at Edmonton. I was talking to their beat writer, and I just froze. I didn't project my voice. The guy couldn't hear me. It was like an awkward question. And I feel a little bit more comfortable now. But when you I don't know, you just get anxiety up the Yizang right before I get on there.
It's natural.
Well, it is such another side of it. I mean, later on in the post game, you guys were talking about, there's the serious guy, there's the straight guy, and then there's the fun guy. And having those interviews with the fun guy is just really fun, especially after a game like that. Because when you get the fun guy and he's straight afterwards and just giving you those straight on answers, it's just there's no sound bites, there's no energy to it. It's so tough to keep it going.
Yeah, it was real, right? And then his celebration too, right? When he put down the phone call.
What was that
Yeah,
about?
yeah. You asked him about that, and he said, "I don't know." Right?
He did say, he goes, that's about as long as the phone call was when Pat Verbeek, the GM of Anaheim, called him and said, "Hey, we just traded you to Philadelphia," and it was like, boop.
Wow.
I think that was the reference. He kind of said it, but I implied that. And then he got asked later on in the scrums in the locker room, and he said, nah, next question. So I assume it's that. So a little bit of, not I don't know, maybe FU to him, but it was good.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like there was a lot of FU going on in the game last night. And I guess, with the Cutter Gauthier and Zegras and Gudas, former Flyer. Like, I feel like when you are going against your former team, you try to go maybe score 2 goals against them, not throw horrible elbows. Like Gudas was a fan favorite when he was in the orange and black here in Philadelphia, and I'm watching the game last night, and I'm like, F that guy, so he was playing with a chip on his shoulder as well. It seemed like.
Yeah, the forearm shiver, the people's elbow, whatever you want to call it. It was nasty, and that's like you played at the beginning of the show, Preston. That's old school, old time hockey, right? It was fun. It had Garnet Hathaway, being scratched for a couple weeks there, came back in Edmonton, and last night just bowling guys over, just playing hard, playing the right way, clean hits, right? And they took exception to that and kind of went after our guys. So it was a couple injuries which you don't want to see, and hopefully those guys, Bobby Brink and Jamie Drysdale are big guys, big important guys for the Flyers. So hopefully they're not out too long, but a big win nonetheless, and the guys got to step up here going forward because you got a couple good teams coming.
Yeah, the one that I hated the most was Johnston's forearm to Denver Barkey's grill. He was bleeding from his mouth, and he only got a minor penalty for it. I thought that should have been a major, And then when something like that happens, how do the Flyers keep their composure and not take cheap shots?
Yeah, I've been in those situations many times, right? Someone going after Chemo or Giroux or Danny B, and your instinct is just to protect your buddy, right? And you don't want to cross that line when they're crossing the line towards you. And there's things that you can do, like a good slash behind the back of the leg, or you take a number and you wait till next game, right? So that's we play those guys again in March, I believe, sometime in March. So in Anaheim, so that'll be a homecoming, for Trevor Zegras. So hopefully he can do the same thing, but it probably will get a little testy as well, I would assume.
Hey, Scott, is there ever when you're given some payback, when you're issuing some payback, is there ever a way to do it without causing a penalty, or is that even in your mind when you're going at that?
Yeah, well, quick story. When I was in Nashville, I was like maybe 22, something like that, and the year prior, I was battling with Yuri Fisher was his name, a big, tall defenseman, 6'6", mean guy. And we were battling, and he kind of twisted his knee. I didn't do anything bad. It was kind of just like a battle in the corner. He's laying on the ice. He tore his ACL, so he missed, 2 or 3 months of the season, half the summer rehabbing. First game back in Nashville, he's like, let's go, off the face-off. I was like, I knew it was coming. And I was like, no, like let's just give it a couple shifts, right? So I can get angry, right? And so the play comes up, because it's kind of weird. Just I didn't really like the setup fights, right? For myself anyway, I had to get, angry, and I wanted to, punch the guy's, head in, right?
Yeah. So
puck comes up, it goes behind the net. I go behind the net skating. He just blows me up, clean hit. Like I'm like on the ground, and then I start flashing red, right? And so I throw it, we square off, we go like this, and he's a lot bigger than me, and I come in for a punch. He just
all right, thanks, Marissa. So I've been walking these streets of ours in this city of brotherly love.
Scoobly woo, wow, he's the meat behind the beat, pounding his feet on the street. City beat.
That's right, baby. All right, so this is exciting news for those who prefer this kind of travel. Cruising has returned to Philadelphia today. And by that, I mean cruise ships.
Yeah.
It begins today. The new Philiport Cruise Terminal, built on a 16-acre site adjacent to the Philadelphia International Airport along Atlantic Avenue, is prepping for the grand debut. Norwegian's cruise line, Norwegian Jewel, departs today. launching service from the city of brotherly love to Bermuda and beyond.
So I'm happy this is happening because this is something we have a very viable area for this. It's the one thing that's not completed is the actual, from what I understand, Preston, the ticketing area. But that will be completed, and why not? Provide jobs and revenue to the area and make this a port of a call for Norwegian.
And make it easier for people who want to take a cruise, because part of taking a cruise is getting to the port.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to fly to Florida, Georgia, wherever it is.
It's a pain in the ass.
And you got to add that travel expense onto that. So I'm happy for the travelers.
So years ago, when I was in second grade, third grade, my father, whatever company he was working for, the bonus incentives would be like trips. And so he would make those bonuses. And we went down to Bermuda twice on a cruise, departing from New York. And we were living in New York, which is fine. I enjoyed those.
So New York, Baltimore, were those the closest driving destinations to leave for a cruise around here?
That I recall, because I remember leaving one from Baltimore. Did I see that this ship is going to be able to go to Boston?
I don't know. It is going to head to different locations during when the weather changes. Yes, Marissa, it looks like New England will be one of the destinations.
I heard Boston in Canada.
Yep, exactly. So, yes, it says the ship will alternate home ports between Philadelphia and Quebec City. And during the cooler months, the ship will set sail to Canada and New England as well. So, you'll have the option to do that. But when I was a kid, we went on the first cruise I ever took. We went to the Bahamas. We had to leave out of Florida. So we were living in South Carolina at the time. We had to go drive all the way down to Florida.
That's what you do
in order to depart.
And it's like leaving the day before because you have to get on the ship at 6 a.m. Like, it is a lot of travel.
And by the way, if you're flying to Florida, it's not that much further to your destination.
So, like Steve was saying, due to construction delays, a spokesperson for Norwegian Cruise Line said that the embarkation process for the initial sailings will operate from a temporary facility while final development work is being completed at the permanent facility. During the summer, Norwegian Jewel, which is the ship, which has the capacity to accommodate 2,300 guests, will offer voyages to the island paradise of Bermuda, where the ship will dock overnight, giving guests time to enjoy all of that the island has to offer.
I went on the first time we did it, Preston, the cruise down. You talk about how sometimes people get, illnesses on a cruise. I got deathly ill, and everyone was getting sick because we went through a storm, and there were what I thought were little French fry boxes around the. They had them all over the place.
Yeah,
they were puke boxes.
Oh, no kidding!
Wow.
Wow, French fry time.
So, were you getting sick from motion sickness?
The motion
sickness. It wasn't neurovirus.
No. It was literally 2 hurricanes crossed at the same time.
Yeah,
everyone. This was a seasoned Greek crew who had seen it all. They were puking.
So, was it to the extent of tables and chairs flying all over the place?
So it was so much so that they had, and obviously this is something they had in place, to go across like open areas. They had ropes.
Wow.
So so you could pull yourself across.
I recently saw a video on Instagram that popped up in my algorithm, and it was interiors of deep sea fishermen. The people, the commercial fishermen that go out.
Sure.
Interiors of them inside when they're in rough water. And it looks bizarre.
Yeah.
The camera is stationary, yet it looks like movie special effects because they're like, standing sideways, and it's pretty interesting to see how violent you can get tossed around in certain conditions.
I clearly remember being in, so we had bunk beds, my brother and I, and my parents were in another suite, and I remember seeing, we had hung my jacket up on the hook, and the jacket starts to go up, and it's almost touching the ceiling.
Yeah, that's the type of thing you can see in videos like that. So officials said the new port is expected to create 2,185 new direct and indirect jobs to generate an additional $300 million in economic output for the Commonwealth.
You know what we should do? We sent Nick years ago up to Boston during the show.
We flew him up and back during the show.
How about a cruise?
Up and back during the show. We'll see if we can knock that out. But I wonder how long a trip to a sailing trip would take from here to Boston or Canada. Because obviously, Bermuda's actually not that far. It's farther than Boston or Canada.
What's that, off the coast of South Carolina?
Yeah, it's off the Carolinas.
All right. A lot of people don't realize is that it's not a tropical paradise year round.
Yeah, it's a little further up north.
I remember remember seeking out, like, if we could take a ship between, like, this area, the Navy Yard, and Chester for a Union game. And they said that the way that the waters are, it would pretty much be like a 3-hour cruise. Like, just in that space.
A 3-hour cruise?
I know, right? Just because you can't go that fast. Or something, or like the boats wouldn't move that, or like it was something, Preston, that was so outrageous that it wasn't even worth seeking out.
I mean, the river goes that way.
Yeah.
It flows that way. You'd be going with the current.
When you're on the Spirit of Philadelphia, that's like a 3-hour cruise, and that only does like a couple mile long adventure circle.
I don't know if it's the same thing for cruise ships, but I do know that like for like tankers and stuff like that they need separate pilots to take them up the Delaware River. So they'll park themselves out in the mouth of the Atlantic, and then other pilots have to hop on the tankers and then navigate them up through the Delaware River.
Interesting.
I wonder if that's the same case for the cruise.
Yeah,
So it's fairly common. Remember the whole issue with the bridge that was toppled in
Baltimore.
Baltimore. But when you go into an area that you're unfamiliar with, another captain will come on board and pilot whatever vessel you're on.
All right. Well, it's available now. You can book
pretty
your
cool.
cruises and you can leave out of Philadelphia, which is cool. All right. Another City Beat story. This one broke yesterday. The $20 million expansion of Stateside Live Sports Complex will be unveiled fully at the end of May, just in time for a slate of big sporting events this summer. Comcast, Spectacor, and the Cordish companies announced yesterday that the expansion of Stateside Live will open Friday, May 29th, with a weekend-long celebration for the public.
And Preston, this is another cool aspect. They're going to allow cruise ships in and out of there.
That's amazing.
How do they even
I don't even know.
One part of the expansion includes the AVA rooftop bar. The 2-story open-air rooftop bar will be at the heart of Stateside Live and offer views of the sports complex. While we were at the Camp Out for Hunger this past run that we did, we saw that being constructed. Like, we woke up the next morning and we're like, oh my God, where did that come from? They had put up the girders, within the course of a day, and we saw that starting to form. So it's getting ready to open at the end of May.
I mean, when we did the unofficial opening of the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and from that perch we could see the length and breadth of the construction they were doing. It's huge.
It looks amazing. The artist rendering looks amazing. I was just down there for the Sixers game on Sunday. I hadn't been down there for a little while. I was thinking when I was looking at this, I would have loved to have had this when I was 21, 22.
Oh,
23.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we missed out.
Now you're just
Well, yeah, but when it opened up in our prime of tailgating and things like that, like, it was pretty awesome. We saw green.
Yeah,
I saw Green Jeans play in the parking lot right there. Like, all of those areas were pretty special. I don't know. There was like that auxiliary field that we did a lot of Camp Out for Hunger events in that just became kind of not used anymore.
Well, Marissa, on that stage years ago, we got to see one of our calendar girls kiss Gary Lauer. Do you remember during that?
Oh my God, a singles mixer?
Who was it? Who kissed him? I don't remember.
Might have been Morgan. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. So there was a news release that said with an
Live with that for a while.
With an elevated menu, craft cocktail program, and curated bottle service experience, AVA introduces a rooftop lounge concept to South Philadelphia that rivals the city's top downtown destinations. A new outdoor performance stage, the Coors Light stage, is going to be added to Stateside Live and has a capacity for up to 5,000 attendees, including 1,000 premium seats. So I guess they're going to have seats out there. Wow.
So
okay.
by this, what they're showing here, there's a lawn in front of the stage.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but it says something about seats here, so it's interesting. The stage will host a full line of local, regional, and national events throughout the summer and fall of 2026. The PBR Philly Bar will be expanded with PBR Backyard, which will nearly double the footprint of the bar and add an outdoor stage, dance floor, and VIP sections. And lastly, a Blue Moon Beer Garden and Stateside Crush Bar will also be added to the expansion. The beer garden will be open air. The Stateside Crush Bar will offer freshly hand-squeezed cocktails made with a variety of spirits.
This is going to be huge.
The Stateside Live expansion will open to the public 5 p.m. Friday, May 29th. We'll have 2 concerts to celebrate. Taking Back Sunday will headline the first night, and Mayday Parade and special guest Bayside. And then on Saturday, Los Angeles-based DJ and producer duo 2 Then on Saturday. I'm sorry, Two Friends, not Two Dead.
Oh, Two Friends are playing there?
Yeah.
Oh, they're really good. I'm not like a huge DJ person, but they mix a lot of like rock into their DJ sets, and
Okay.
they do. Oh wow, that's
So they're going to
really
headline the concert, and both concerts are. It says here both concerts are free, and tickets will go on sale Friday.
Well,
I'd like
I mean,
how
Stateside
much for
Live's
those free
website.
tickets?
Yeah, when they go on sale, I don't really know.
I think you have to sign up just to receive the tickets.
Okay, so yeah, this is it's getting underway, and they're ready to cut the ribbon.
To be honest, I didn't realize. I consider that fairly early. I didn't realize they were going to be able to open by the end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that this is as big as a project as it is,
Yeah.
and we saw them, doing all the construction. Actually, the tearing down of everything while we were at Camp Out for Hunger this past.
I wonder what this will mean for when we have our next Camp Out for Hunger.
Totally.
How much of this we can access.
Yeah, we'll have to find some things to play with.
Yeah.
I would imagine because it'll be seasoned by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Accidentally set something on fire.
All right, another City Beat story, and it's in connection to this because it has to do with the sports complex. But Comcast Spectacor and the Sixers have decided on a precise location in the sports complex for their new arena, which will also host the Flyers and an as-yet unnamed WNBA team. The new stadium will be located at the southeast corner of the intersection of Broad and Pattison, right next to SEPTA's Broad Street line, which serves the sports complex. Location echoes the Sixers and Flyers' original home, the Spectrum, as will the ultimate and still unrevealed design.
So it's just shifting down towards Broad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All
Right by the subway station, I
Right by
assume?
the subway
Yeah,
station.
Is that a little bit of jamming in there?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. But
I was talking about last night, and I wonder if eventually it'll kind of be connected to Stateside Live.
yeah,
I was
don't know.
wondering if it was going to be connected directly to the subway line, almost like how Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, where you can
is.
actually get out and walk right
And
into
just
the
go right
venue.
in there. I think that would be great.
I agree.
I don't think that this is. It's not going to have as big of a footprint as the Xfinity Mobile Arena has, because that building is gigantic.
Right.
It is.
I think it's going to have just a smaller.
Be like slimmer.
Capacity.
Slimmer, yeah. I mean,
Footprint.
almost, kind of like the Spectrum. Spectrum wasn't that big. It was big when it was there and nothing else was there.
Right.
And then when you saw other things around, you're
Do
like,
you
okay.
remember what the
this thing-
capacity of the Spectrum was? Was it like 20,000?
Could you look that up,
Yeah.
Marissa? Because that I am curious, because I don't think it was nearly that much, because that's what the Xfinity Mobile Arena is, roughly 20,000 in that range. Let's see here. 18,000, so
Okay.
pretty close.
Yeah.
You know what, Casey? Xfinity Mobile Arena has so many offices and office space. I wonder with the new, because they won't need to build offices for the Sixers,
Right.
I wonder if the Flyers will continue to be in that arena or if they'll build them off site.
So I assume they're keeping the station there, right?
they have to.
They have to make
Yeah.
room for the cruise ships to come in and out.
Dan Hilferty, the chairman and CEO of Comcast Spectacor, said, "We believe there's only one logical spot for it. Just think of it in terms of roughly the area where the Spectrum was, closer to Pattison Avenue, running parallel to Broad Street." While Comcast Spectacor has long talked about building a sprawling mixed-use development and turning the district into a real neighborhood, Hilferty said that that's still in the future. For now, the company is focusing on adding more retail around the new arena. He said, "We see this location as a unique opportunity to connect the retail affiliated with the arena to the retail that we have in Stateside Live and the expansion of that effort."
When you stop and think about all the, because we think of that area, and I love the fact that everything is sort of right there, but there is a ton of parking space that is just open, between that and Live Casino and there's just a lot to work with.
Yeah, a lot of open lots.
Yeah.
You know what this will fill? Have you guys ever noticed that like grassy area? So if you get off of the subway and you walk down Pattison Avenue towards the Link or Citizens Bank, there is like sidewalk, and then there's grassy area, and then there's the parking spaces that open. So this will inevitably maybe open up some more parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where at Camp Out for Hunger, I'll go and chip golf balls.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never known that.
I've gone out there. Yeah, I take if it's not freezing cold.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good spot to go out there and practice my wedge work for a little bit.
We got to work something in this year to the camp out as well. We got to do our own version of Top Golf.
Yeah, totally.
You get on top of the RV.
We need a golf course. So a tour was, they led a tour. Mayor Parker was there. In the coming weeks, pre-construction engineering work will be conducted at the site as the development team stress tests the site and its ability to accommodate the weight of a new building. So don't be surprised if you see fencing going up and a crane and everything.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean that work will begin on the actual building anytime soon. Regulatory and legislative approval is still needed for one thing. And Hilferty and the Spectacor Sixers Alliance is very much leaving the timing in City Hall up to Parker and City Council President Kenyatta Johnson, who represents that area.
My guess is they're going to try to push this through as quickly as they can because there's revenue to be made.
So after legislative approval is secured and development of the new South Philadelphia Arena begins, construction is expected to take 3 years.
I would do my best to cut as many building codes as I could to get this completed. Yeah.
The WNBA team is expected to debut in the 2030 season, so the new facility needs to be completed by then. And the Xfinity Mobile Arena will be demolished. They're gonna tear it down after the new arena is completed. I hate hearing that.
I thought that was not part of the deal, and it crushed me to see this.
Been going to that building for 30 years, man.
And by the way, it's in wonderful shape.
I love it.
The refurb is terrific.
I see nothing wrong with that facility at all. I don't know why they need to do this, but they're doing it, and I'm not going to lament about it, but
Preston and Steve's no sad bro world.
Okay.
That's what
universe.
Universe. That's what it becomes.
Wait, they did that.
A multimedia experience.
They did that in New York or the Meadowlands where
we had a Preston and Steve universe and we didn't know about it?
I didn't know that.
That's just insane.
Where's your check?
Isn't there an old stadium that they turned? Oh no, it's an old mall. They turned into like one of these.
Oh, with the inside coasters and stuff like that. It's like a Nickelodeon type vibe. Yeah.
Oh. What, in Florida?
No, it's in
New York. Okay.
It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey, northern New Jersey.
Okay. Well, anyhow, it's going to be sad to see that building go. We've had
great experiences,
amazing memories, but the Spectrum went away, and that had some wonderful memories tied to it as well.
By the way, when are we going to be asked to be one of those shovel experiences where they break ground on a new site?
That we're there with the
christen a ship
with the silver shovel. Yeah,
come
on,
so
man.
much to ask.
All right, let's go to another one. Got this courtesy of Marissa. She's one of my correspondents on the City Beat. The South Philadelphia building that was home to the Show and Tell Strip Club for over 3 decades will have a new use. The owner has closed the business and sold the building for $2.3 million.
It's going to be the site of the new Xfinity Mobile Arena.
I never went to Show and Tell, not one time.
Man, I almost got my ass kicked by a bouncer there. Yeah, and listen, I have no reason to lie, or I have every reason to lie. But I didn't do anything wrong. Okay.
She really said she loved you.
No. So it was an all-nude club, and some of the dancers would sometimes take lollipops and put them in places that are naughty.
Right.
And then they would sell the lollipops.
Wow.
Okay, so they'd sold them for like $20 or something like that.
Way to ruin a lollipop.
And so I was there with high school friends, and I don't, it might have been a bachelor party, but I don't really remember that part. One of the guys that I was there with wasn't necessarily a high school friend. He was just sort of a...
All right.
But anyway, this guy decided to chew on a lollipop, and then he was throwing... pieces of like the chewed up lollipop at the dancer.
So he was being disruptive.
He was being disruptive. Now,
jerk.
I know.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with this.
With something as innocent as a lollipop.
This guy's not my friend, right? And he's like one of these guys. He was like short. There was a guy that was with us who is a massive dude, right? And so this guy that I was with, smaller guy, actually shorter than me. He's got the muscles because he's with the big guy. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So
it's like Thunderdome.
So Bouncer comes up onto the stage and he starts yelling in our general direction, and saying that he's going to kick our asses or whatever. And then little short guy starts mouthing off to the bouncer.
Shut up.
Right, but the bouncer doesn't know who is yelling at him. Right, and then the bouncer, because the dude was like standing near me. And this dude was a monster. Just like, shaved bald head. He was wearing like a chain, like an actual, like a chain.
Yeah.
With a padlock on it.
Still attached to a fence.
Yes, I mean, like this dude was like straight out of like WWE, like just scary. And I would never mouth off to somebody like this.
Right.
But this dude, he's locked eyes with me, and he's calling me the C word. He's like, and I was like,
Yeah.
And then he look away, and then mouthy guy next to me says something again, and I was like, dude, stop. Like, you're not the target right now.
You're not helping.
Like, you're not helping.
I'm never going to get my lollipop.
Yeah. It was a scary moment for me, man.
So did you get thrown out?
I did not get thrown out. I did not get my ass kicked, but
Yeah, the fear of God put into
No
you
doubt.
with
And
the chain dude.
didn't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, I by the way, we never did anything with them on a promotional basis.
No, we were always at Club Risque. That was our main place, and cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders, yeah.
So
And Delilah's occasionally.
the buyer, whose identity was not disclosed, owns several businesses along Washington Avenue and plans to use the former strip club for an additional storage and office space. The club scaled back its operation only a few days a week in recent years.
If you turn it into office space, wouldn't it be great if they left the poles up?
Yeah, absolutely. And a few lollipops on somebody's desk.
Why not?
It was constructed in 1930 and originally used for industrial purposes.
This lollipop tastes like mackerel.
The building has 5 garage doors for loading, a stucco exterior, and 124 feet of frontage on Columbus Boulevard. So no idea what it will end up becoming, but yeah, show and tell is over and done.
You drive around and it's in a location, real estate, obviously, that's what you need to get into, but sometimes you'll see places like this. And I remember years ago, Preston, on Long Island, Jericho Turnpike, a main thoroughfare, there was all sorts of construction and strip malls going up and businesses. And there was a guy who owned a strip club right on a main intersection. It was like the Firehouse Cafe or some ridiculous name. This is the guy who would leave his door open during the summer, and you could see into what was going on. Anyway, this guy held. This place was a hovel, and then eventually sold it for a ridiculous amount of money.
Sat on it.
Yeah.
Marissa pulled up a photo of show and tell here. Like the outside of Club Risque, it has a nice appearance to it. It's inviting, and you can tell it's open for business. There is nothing appealing about the building that show and tell was in. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like
an old warehouse.
Yeah.
Do you know what would be great?
Exactly.
What we should have done is have, if they had it, and the guys show up, and what you see in there is a whole bunch of school kids, and up on stage, they're literally doing show and tell.
Yeah. This is my dad gave this to me.
Yeah, it's from the Civil War.
All right, here's another City Beat. Got time for just a couple more real quick here. These are quickies. Apparently, somebody texted me. I did not know, but it's Wawa's birthday today.
Yeah, that's right.
62 years old, from what I saw on that text. And I guess a free coffee thing happens on Wawa's birthday. I don't know the specific
Free coffee and a pass to show and tell.
details. Well, they're out of business now, though. So, let's see, Marissa, if you could find out anything about that.
I think there's a big celebration going on at store number 1 today.
I was woefully unprepared.
Store number 1 doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what they call store number 1. Store number 1 was my Wawa growing up. It was at the corner of Swarthmore Avenue and McDade Boulevard, and they built one of those super Wawas around the corner, and it was a really great Wawa, but I was a little sad that they didn't keep Wawa 1.
It's like the Xfinity Mobile Rate. It's like... This is a part of history.
Yeah.
Even if it was and we talked about this. We threw these suggestions out all leading up to this.
Yeah.
Turn it into a Wawa museum.
Yeah. Or even just a Wawa merch store or something.
They do have great merch. Free hot coffee on Wawa Day today, 4/16, for all Wawa Rewards members.
Okay.
Easy to join for free.
Yeah, just get the app pretty much, and you're good to go.
By the way, man, I got to shout out my friends at Wawa on 252 right by Route 1, because I went there the other night after the Sixers game, Marissa, and I got 2 shorties, and I was about to buy them, and the lady at the register said, hey, the meal deal, like you can get you can get a shorty, a bag of chips, and a small soda for $6. She goes, you're already paying over $6 for just this shorty. And
Look at that.
She saved me money.
She threw in a stripper lollipop.
I got more food, and she saved me money.
I love it when that happens.
You're going to want
keeping
this
an
one.
eye out.
This one's Mercedes.
They're keeping an eye out for you. That's cool. Well, happy birthday, Wawa. Take advantage of the coffee thing. All right, one last thing. It's a quickie. So I'm watching Wheel of Fortune last night.
Me too.
And I don't normally watch Wheel of Fortune, but my ears perked up when I heard Ryan Seacrest said, and he's from Harleysville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, no way.
A guy by the name of Terry Smith, and he was the winner last night from Harleysville.
Don't you
the town that I live in.
By the way, Wheel of Fortune and more so Jeopardy, we always seem to be representing from Philadelphia, from the general area on that show.
Well, the major winner right now in Jeopardy is from Jersey. And he's breaking records. He was sixth overall winner in history.
Case he's going to clear $1 million.
Oh, I love
this guy
that.
is unstoppable.
Did Terry Smith end up winning the final prize by any chance?
No, he did not.
I want to see what the final.
It would have been 45,000. It was a tough one.
Was it?
It was hard.
I want to take a look. See.
But here's what I did not know. Number one, we did a little digging, and where's the Costco? He recently had a hip replacement. He said something about that last night. But when did they start doing the winner returns the next night?
Just started.
Oh,
it just started.
really?
Yeah.
So Rochelle and I were talking about that, and it's got to be because of Jeopardy.
Well, it gives you something to rally behind.
Yeah,
I agree.
When people start to get on a streak,
You get a story.
You pay attention. But I mean, are they going to? They have the potential to win multiple $1 million prizes if that's the case.
Well, here's where it seems. So they're testing it now, and I think, as my understanding is, they're taking it out for a spin, like a novelty programming. But that would be my question, Preston. Your prizes are are you going to win 14 cars?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So my question here is: would you guys prefer that the winner gets invited back to reclaim their title only if they either get the final puzzle or don't get the final puzzle?
So I think that's too much to ask.
Yeah,
I don't.
No,
I think that's because I fear that this will get old on Wheel of Fortune. On Jeopardy, it's a different. You know what? It's a different animal.
Yeah, I think though, but they have elected to not have you have to win the final spin to come back.
But I like that idea.
Yeah. But which idea do you like better? That they didn't win the final puzzle, or they have to
win the final puzzle
in order to be invited back?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Puzzle.
Yeah.
Final puzzle. Stripper lollipop.
Stripper lollipop.
There we go. I think that I think it seems weird on Wheel of Fortune, but I get what they're trying to do, and I think they're going to tinker with it and make it work because Jeopardy. Like you get behind the winner.
It creates a story.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you what.
Headlines.
There have been times where they had so many people on such runs that you're like, can a new player get a shot at it?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, not for nothing, but Wheel of Fortune has been tinkering for as long as I can remember. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune that I knew, they didn't win money. They spent their money on prizes after every round.
And as they went along, they did different like they do these speed rounds and stuff where they do 3 puzzles real quick. They realize that people want more of that, but they've changed all kinds. They put themes and a variety of different puzzles. You get to choose sometimes what your category is.
Right down to having the contestant spin. It used to be Pat would spin that last spin.
Yeah, the last spin.
Now the contestant does it.
Yeah.
All right, so tipped off from a texter who said this is part of a Spring Forward promotion.
Okay.
That in April, Wheel of Fortune contestants have a chance to keep spinning and winning. When they make the bonus round, they'll return the next night to solve more puzzles. And then you, as a viewer, get to enter as well, too, and I guess not bet on them, but if they keep winning, you have a chance to win.
All right, so this is just for spring.
And for
They're
April,
try it out
Spring
for
Forward.
April.
Yeah, for now.
I bet you if it works, it'll be something that they'll bring back and they might make it permanently part of it. The other night, they had Vanna Preston wearing video glasses.
Yeah.
So you would see,
Her perspective.
Yeah, for the whole show. It's pretty cool.
All right, so if you guys could only spin one thing, would it be the Wheel of Fortune wheel or the Price is Right wheel?
Wow. The Price is Right has been around a little longer, is a little more iconic. I mean, they're both iconic, but maybe that one. I want to see how heavy that thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it when smaller people do it. It actually lifts them up a little bit when they're spinning. Yeah. I think I might want to do the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah?
Wheel. Yeah.
Oh, no, I would go Price is Right.
Yeah.
100%.
How about you, Case?
Price is Right, no doubt.
Okay. All right. Well, anyhow, Terry Smith of Harleysville. Somebody texted that they had a guy from Willow Grove last week. That was
I missed that.
on Wheel of
Yeah,
Fortune too, which is really cool. So, good luck to you tonight. I mean, they filmed it months ago, but we'll find out. All right, that's all we have time for. We got to wrap up the City Beat because it is 7:47, and we got to get you on time for the 8 o'clock reveal of our No Sad Dough keyword. That is coming up next. We have bizarre file stories too. Oh, and Dionne Warwick's going to be on our show a little bit later on too. We'll be right back.
Right, my nose down I went, and I'm bleeding all over the place. So he got his payback. It was a clean fight. It was a good punch he got me, and sometimes you got to tip your cap,
and just move on.
Like that,
yeah, especially if he's got like half a foot on you. It's a little much, but yeah, I was curious though with the pandemonium, and Chuck, our program director, Chuck D'Amico, said he has lots of audio of the overpowering boos. I mean, and
he was there last night.
Yeah, he was there last night, and I mean, you've seen it all. You've seen reactions. You've seen the FU response to a player that's just a particular team or whatever. Rank this last night with the top 5 emotional, angry reactions you've ever seen in an arena.
Yeah, it happens when you have that hatred of a player, right? A guy that says he doesn't want to come to Philadelphia. He's a college kid, 19 years old. I don't want to play here. When he was so pro coming to Philadelphia, when he first got drafted, he totally changed his tune. I didn't like that. I think the Flyers fan responded how they did last year playing him, and it carried over to this year as well, right? And usually you see this stuff against the Penguins, right? Or the Rangers. Sometime, back in the day, Islanders, the big rivalries. But this is like the team that's kind of irks us, right? And it's great to have. You only play them once, which sucks, but it is what it is. But it's nice to have those, and it just gets everyone into the game. That's why you go to a hockey game, right? To feel the emotions, to stand up and cheer for a goal, a big hit. It had literally last night had every single element of the game that you want to go to as a fan. And me talking about it, analyzing it, I was fired up just as much as everybody else.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you know what I really didn't like about it, and because I was reading up on it last night, is he had said, I wish everybody knew, like, the truth, And I'm like, well, why don't you tell us the truth then? What's going on? Why don't you want to be here? Like, I don't know why you would say something like that and not follow it up with, hey, the reality is X, Y, and Z.
I know he's waiting to write a book so everyone in Philly can buy it.
Yeah. You see it in 20 years, you're all going to feel really bad.
Yeah. The other thing
that's a lame thing you say when you want to deflect.
Listen, I don't like that they wore orange last night either. Like, what the hell is all with that?
It was tricky, right? There was early in that game, TK connecting, he came across the line and passed it like it was passing to his teammate right to their guy, and he's going the other way against our goaltender. So it was a little tricky, but then you kind of, that was a bad turnover. You kind of figure it out. But yeah, it was definitely tricky to start, I thought, for them.
Scott, do players get talked to by management about what to avoid talking about when talking to the press, or are you just kind of left to your own devices to do that?
What do you mean, like just for
these comments that he made they're not a good idea when he's being interviewed, and I don't know if players ever get spoken to by management about, hey, you may want to back off of this,
No, I think it's, I remember last year, Travis Konechny was all over him after whistles, like, I can't believe you didn't want to come here. Like all night, baby. It's coming all night. They were all over and hitting him. As soon as he had the puck, especially, guys were on him, just bumping him, frustrated. And he went into a shell last game. And, he's able to get that first goal when the boos were really loud in that first period. So he kind of shut us up for a hot minute and then it kind of kept on going at him. So, but no, it is. When you're signed, a TK, when I was in Philadelphia, if a guy didn't want to sign here, it's like, better off without him. You don't want to, hang around with a guy like that anyway, right? And I said it last year. It's, he probably was given everything when he was 10 years old to probably earlier than that, 5, 6 years old when he started skating to, when he was playing in the development program in Michigan, when he went to college, a high draft pick. He was probably just given the red carpet out every time he wanted to get on the ice. He got on the ice, and I think Danny and Torts, they said, "Hey, you got to earn your spot." This is what I thought or think happened. You got to earn your spot. It's not given that you're going to be on the first line, left wing, playing with our top centers. Like, you have to earn it, right? And if you have to spend some time in the minors, that's kind of, we want to develop you the right way. And he's like, "Oh no, I've been rolled out the red carpet my whole life. I don't want that, right?" And then there's teams that will be like, "Hey, we're going to give you this opportunity." And obviously he's a really, really good player, smart player, and he's had a good rookie year, 20 goals, and this year he's already got 20 as well, just over halfway through the season. So he's backed it up.
Well, how important is it? You got to have moments like this. I mean, I think of like the movie The Avengers when there's the collector's cards of Captain America, that sort of uses a focal point to get everyone united together against an enemy. How much of a match is lit when you have a situation like last night? Because the Flyers have been a lot of fun to watch. They've been, this season, there's an energy, there's something that's there, and everyone's saying it. Regardless of how things play out, we know how we want it to play out. Something like this, to me, is like a second and third wind all wrapped up into one. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like Las Vegas or Vegas Golden Knights when they came into the NHL. They were the misfits, right? They were the cast-offs of their team, and they used that slogan as their kind of fuel to get them to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first year in the NHL, right? And I think the Flyers are using that as well too. They've been brutal for 8 years. Like, everyone's counting them out, and now I think teams are feeling that they're for real. Right?
Yeah.
And they've been playing great. They've got great goaltending. Their special teams needs to improve to get to that next elite level. But they're building something here. Danny B, Jonesy, Hilferty, those guys have done one heck of a job kind of, sticking to the plan, right? Not accelerating it because, you have a good half a season. They're doing it properly. And, for guys, they're buying in and they're having a lot of fun. Been around them on that road trip, Calgary, Edmonton. It's goofing around. It's work when you need to work. And that game could have come at a better time, right? You come off a long road trip after the holidays, you're kind of down, but then the crowd got them into it. So that's the great thing about Philly fans, is that they can drag you into that fight, even though maybe your body's not feeling it. They did that last night. That was huge.
How hard was the team trying to get Ziggy that hat trick last night? Just to put a pin in it.
Yeah, no doubt. The game was a long game anyway. There's a couple injuries, the fights, and things like that. If he would have got that hat trick, we'd still be there talking about it.
If you had all those teddy bears and Hershey, like filling the stadium.
Yeah, the teddy bear toss. Yeah, no, it would have been rain and hats for sure. And how happy he was after the game in that interview. It would have been even maybe one more swear in there.
3 F-bombs.
Yeah. So Vladar was named to the Olympic team for Czechia yesterday, and so the Flyers now have 4 players that are going to be playing in the Olympics in February, and maybe more to be announced later. I don't know, but. So they're going to be off for 19 days. What can that do to momentum for a team?
I think it's going to be good for everybody, right? The rest, the season, the schedule is so condensed, right? Where you're playing every other day and back-to-backs thrown in there, so you don't get the rest, right? So, I think especially for a guy like Matvei Michkov, who kind of didn't have the best summer training. There was an injury, I believe, and then he started the season slow. So for him, didn't play last night as well. He got dinged up. So for him, especially a guy that is supposed to be your ringer, right? Your all-star, blah, blah, blah. He's got to use that as a great 2.5 weeks to push it from here all the way up to here. And even the other guys too. You go away for, 4 or 5 days, get some sun, but it's the middle of the season. Everyone else is training. So, get back to Philly, get in the gym, get skating, feel more comfortable, work on some power play stuff to get better and, use it in the proper way. So I think these kids nowadays, they, probably wasn't like in the back of the day where you used to have a lot more drinks than these guys now. So they take care of their bodies a little bit better, but so it's fun to see. But I think they'll where they are right now, they'll definitely be dialed in.
I wanted to ask you, because doing a little research having you on today, totally forgot about Scotty Hartnell wig night.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a big thing. I think we even had a few sent over. Do you have a case of those in your house, or do you have you have your own wig? Did you get to keep one?
I cleaned out my storage room the other day. I was just going through Tupper, the big bins, and this one wasn't the see-through one. I went in there, and there was like bobbleheads from Nashville, wigs from the wig night, all this kind of stuff. So I had a good laugh.
Did you just pop it on for old sake just to see?
Well, yeah, it doesn't really fit my head anymore, my hair, but my son was wearing it for 2 days here when we were playing hockey. I'm Scott Hartnell.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Flyers playing Leafs tomorrow night, hosting the Leafs. It's Fish Night tomorrow night. Casey is going to be there.
Yeah, buddy.
Because he's hosting the musical portion.
Yeah, and the response has gotten so big from this that they actually had to move the pregame and postgame concerts to stateside live because the response was so good. And in fact, the venue is really getting behind this as well. So, people that are attending get these really cool Gritty Fish T-shirts, but they're going to be serving split open and melt cheesesteaks. That's named after a fish song. Poor Heart Burgers, Ruby Waves, and a Scent of a Mule cocktails. So, are you a fish guy at all? I don't know. Like, I back in the day, I know like LeClaire was. He was a Vermont guy or whatever. Have you gotten into the band?
I'm not a big fan. I probably couldn't name you one of their songs, but that gives me something to do here today. Is I got a little bit of a drive here coming up, so I'll put them on.
If you take a 3 or 4 hour drive, you can listen to one of the songs.
You can listen to one song. Hey, listen, this one. Listen, Trey is a huge Flyers fan. He's the lead guitarist and singer for the band. Yep. He grew up in New Jersey. He's a huge Broad Street Bullies fan, huge Flyers fan. But there's a song called "It's Ice." Okay, so that'll work for you.
Okay, sounds good. I'll put her on today.
Hey, you know what, Scott? I'm going to bring you into a conversation we had before we got on with you, and we were talking about we were kind of reassessing last year. The past few days, getting back after the holiday and everything. What was your favorite new TV show that you came across in the past year or so? And I'm not sure if you're a big TV guy, if you like a series, or if you're more movie. But is there anything that stood out to you?
I think the one I think I'm naming it right. Nobody Wants This.
Yeah,
that's with the Jewish rabbi.
That was the second season came out. I liked that show. That was a lot of fun. Kristen Bell. Yeah.
It's sort of a rom-com, is it not? A rom-com?
Yeah, really cute, and wife
funny.
loves that stuff, obviously, and sometimes I don't get sucked into those ones, but that was cute. And Emily in Paris. I'm gonna sound like
you're an Emily. Oh, we know who controls the remote in your house.
I thought you were gonna say like Letterkenny or like Shoresy or something like that.
Emily in Paris.
Yeah, there's not too many hours in the day, right? You got kids, you're going to work out, you go to practice, you go to work at night, and when you do have those off nights, she watches all the housewives crap, and I'm like, I can't get into that. So
so you don't have a particular favorite Real Housewives cast?
No, I don't know. I couldn't name you one person on them. But you know what I'm getting into, actually? I just watched it before Christmas, and I probably sound like an idiot saying this, but Breaking Bad, I haven't seen the show.
Hey,
so
it's not too late. Listen, I got in on that like maybe 2-3 years ago, and that was like 8 or 9 years after it came out, and I watched the whole thing. It's never too late to watch. That's one of the great shows on television ever, so you'll dig that.
So that's going to be my goal here to get that dialed in here in the next 2026, I guess. So,
What shows are the kids into?
Preston, I thought you were going to talk about jug handles. You guys talked about that this morning again. And
you went through your first jug handle like live on the radio with us.
It's a constant mystery for all of us. We drive in Jersey. Yeah.
Well, what shows are the kids into? Because I'm sure they're on all the time in your house.
Yeah, SpongeBob was a big one at the end of last year. And I never grew up. It was a little bit kind of past when I was a kid, so I was kind of watching this. I'm like, geez.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for keyword.
All right, keyword is bank, B-A-N-K, and we got $1,000 is your chance to win. You have 25 minutes after the hour to enter it at the MMR app or WMMR.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code number we have set up, which is 45911. So text the word bank to 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in the company-wide contest. Winners get a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules are available at WMMR.com. And the Preston Steve No Sad Dough is brought to you by Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. So again, the word is bank. So enter that right now. While you're doing that, we'll take a look at traffic, see how we are shaping up this morning. Marissa, what's going on?
We're slowing on the Blue Route northbound from 95 to the Media Bypass, southbound from Mid-County Toll Plaza out to Conshohocken. 76 eastbound Boulevard to Vine, westbound from Vare to Vine, and Boulevard out to Gladwin, and then 95 southbound Cottman Avenue to Vine. And 42 freeway, there is that road construction. It's on the northbound side from Coles Road to the Black Horse Pike. We are jammed back to Blackwood Clemington Road. And this traffic report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Marissa. Before we get to the B-File, I got a couple of plugs I want to mention. A lot of people have been sending me charity events. I try to get them out to you as expeditiously as I can. I got this from, hang on a second here. Okay, I'll get back to that one. All right, so this one is from Bob Varga. He is the executive director of the Boyertown Area Multi-Service Center. He said, I wanted to personally reach out and introduce myself and share the story behind one of our most meaningful community efforts. It's called Preston's Pantry and their 8th annual food drive and community day. In May of 2018, Preston Dre, an 8-year-old, ran a food drive for Boyertown Area Multi-Service and a school project. And the town was inspired that an 18-year-old taught an entire community a lesson on charity and caring. But tragically, Preston, his mom Pamela, and Preston's unborn baby sister Evelyn Rose were lost in a tragic flash flood.
Oh, my God.
July 11, 2019. In memory of Preston, volunteers came together to form Preston's Pantry Project. And their goal was to involve community members and local businesses in an annual food drive and monetary donations to support the Boyertown Area Multi-Service. And they did that. The first one was in 2019, brought in 55,000 pounds of donated pantry and monetary support. And they have their next event, which is coming up. And it is Saturday, May 2nd. And it is their 8th annual event, and they need canned, they need non-perishable food.
Sure,
items.
yeah.
So there's all kinds of stuff that you do. And if you've been a contributor to the Camp Out for Hunger, then you know what to bring. So it's going to be at the Boyertown Area Multi-Service, which is 200 West Spring Street in Boyertown. If you're in Boyertown, you know where it is, I'm sure. But it's coming up Saturday, May 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So this kid started this thing.
What a great way to honor his memory.
I think it's really sweet.
And they're pulling in some substantial amounts of food.
Yeah, that was the first year they did it. So carry this on and help out if you can, especially if you're in the Boyertown area. Then let's see, here's another one. This is a shout out. It says, hey guys, my name's Jim. I'm humbly requesting juicy shout out for my lovely, beautiful, and perfect wife, Becky. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up April 16th. That's today.
Hey!
And said we both have been listening to your show since we started seeing each other in 2010. Since then, we visited the show multiple times, including the day before our wedding. That particular visit, you in particular, said she looked like a young Elizabeth Banks, and she still brings it up all the time because it's true. She's a bombshell, he says, and also had a pretty big bruise on her butt after you paddled her when she was initiated into Zeta Eta Pi and had trouble sitting for a few days afterwards. She loved it, though. My wife, Becky, is the best person in the world. She's the mother of 2 wonderful daughters, Violet and Riley, and I couldn't be happier raising a family with her. You guys are the absolute best. Love you all. That's from Jim Reel. So here is a shark. And happy 10-year anniversary, you guys. That's fantastic.
And a sorority sister.
Yeah, love it. All right, it is time now to fire up the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Liberty Safes of New Jersey. It's time to store all your valuables in one secure place with a Liberty Safe from Liberty Safes of New Jersey. Showrooms in Hamilton and Mount Laurel, New Jersey, or you can shop online at libertysafesnj.com. Maybe you saw this. The president of SantaCon was arrested yesterday on a federal criminal indictment accusing him of using the ticketed Christmas bar crawl event to divert hundreds of thousands of dollars earmarked for charity to his personal use, according to New York federal prosecutors. Stefan Pildes claimed that he did not receive any compensation from SantaCon, but the 50-year-old Pildes allegedly diverted funds from the event to a slush fund to pay for extensive renovations to a lakefront property in New Jersey, luxury vacations in Hawaii, Las Vegas, and Vail, Colorado, concert tickets, extravagant meals, and a luxury vehicle, according to prosecutors.
I don't want to hear that Santa has a slush fund.
About $124,000 of these SantaCon funds were spent toward leasing a luxury apartment in Manhattan, and another $100,000 was invested in a boutique resort in Costa Rica founded by a friend of his. Pildes donated only a small fraction of the approximately $2.7 million raised by SantaCon for his nonprofit group, Participatory Safety, to charity. Prosecutors said he defrauded tens of thousands of individuals and small business owners who participated in SantaCon, which annually draws about 25,000 people dressed as Santa and other holiday characters to bars and restaurants in New York. Tickets via the event cost between $10 and $20. He lives in Hugh, New Jersey. He is charged with one count of wire fraud. And the indictment comes more than 2 years after an analysis by the news site Gothamist found that Participatory Safety raised $1.4 million through SantaCon programming from late 2014 to the end of 2022, but less than a fifth of that money has gone to registered nonprofits.
Listen, I'm not trying to defend him here, but does it seem that the message was being sent years ago when they named it SantaCon?
Yeah, they're calling him a con man.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, the largest donation that they made to went actually to a for-profit outfit called Spectaculum Productions, makers of the documentary film At Your Cervix, an expose about pelvic exams performed by medical students on unconscious and non-consenting patients.
I mean, can you imagine how do people pilfer for years that way? And Santa of all things.
Santa! I know him.
Got to go.
Yes.
Yes. The cops are following me.
Yeah.
Santa's got to go.
All right, a Chinese national was sentenced Wednesday to a year in prison and fined by a Nairobi court for attempting to smuggle thousands of ants out of Kenya, a lucrative trade exposed in East Africa last year. The insects are mostly destined for China, the United States, and Europe, where they become pets and can be worth around $100 each.
Aren't there ants pretty much everywhere?
I would think so. Ant smuggling made headlines last year when 2 Belgian teens were arrested in possession of nearly 5,000 ants, mostly stored in test tubes, and they were fined roughly $7,000.
Hey, we're running light on ants.
Zhang Kiquin, who evaded capture until his arrest, have been linked to another case involving a Vietnamese and Kenyan national. More than 2,200 ants, including 1,948 prized mesocephalotes, were found in test tubes in Zhang's luggage at Nairobi's international airport destined for China.
I'm assuming these are larger ants, correct?
No idea. He was initially charged with wildlife trafficking without a permit and conspiracy, which carries a 7-year sentence. I mean, he had 5,000.
5,000.
So
I'm wondering, and as pets?
Yeah, no idea. That's why it's in the bizarre file. All right, Case, I have a clip that Ryan pulled up for me. It's the third one down, if you would, please.
Gotcha.
Audio has been posted online from recent air traffic control interactions at Washington National Airport. The claim is that this involves pilots of 2 separate planes, both regional jets flying on behalf of American Eagle and Delta Connection. In the roughly 20-second clip posted online, you can hear this. These are pilots communicating with each other, all right? Here we go.
You guys need to be professional pilots.
Meow, 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 meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ. It was funny the first 5 minutes.
It was funny the first 5 minutes. So he says, these are the reason you guys are flying RJ. I think that means regional jets.
Right.
So there's not much context for the incident since it's just a short clip. So while the claim is that it was pilots making those noises and the other person is the controller, you can't really vouch exactly since they are considered anonymous. But air traffic controllers and pilots do sometimes have fun on frequency. However, if those pilots were actually doing this for an extended period of time on frequency, then that can be problematic.
Yeah.
Why
you don't want too much of that going on.
Why the pilots were so interested in making animal noises remains a bit of a mystery.
You guys need to be professional pilots.
Meow, 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 meow.
What if you accidentally flick the wrong switch and that's going back to the passengers?
Oh, my God.
This is why you're still flying RJ. first 5 minutes.
I love that story.
I like that.
Yep. All right, how about this? A viral video out of Warsaw, Poland, shows a humanoid robot jogging across a parking lot, chasing a group of wild boars before they escape into the woods.
I'm sick of footage like this.
This is legit. So
Yeah.
the robot, a Unitree G1 model known online as Edward Warchaki, yeah, I guess that's how you say that, raised its fist in frustration as the animals got away in a video that's racked up nearly 4 million views. Warchaki is a popular robot influencer in Poland. The project of tech entrepreneur Radoslaw Grazalek,
They're tough.
Polish,
Yeah.
and has previously made headlines for signing on stage, following marathon runners, and visiting the Polish parliament. The boar chasing stunt was promotional rather than a genuine wildlife control effort, though. Wild boars are a real growing urban problem in Warsaw, where thousands have taken up residence in city neighborhoods. But it's a pretty funny video to see. All right, and then one last story. Police say they finally captured a man who keeps fleeing from the cops on his motorcycle. Troopers with Louisiana State Police Troop C arrested a motorcyclist wanted for multiple counts of flight from an officer in St. Charles Parish. The agency shared pictures of the suspect and his bike. What appears to be an ongoing count of the number of times he has fled authorities and eluded capture. So on his motorcycle, on his gas tank, it says pigs evaded, and then there are 11 hash marks below those words, appearing to indicate that he's successfully run from police nearly a dozen times.
He's rubbing it in their
but
faces.
Not this time.
Yeah.
They got him.
Listen, if
So-
you're on a motorcycle, they can get up to crazy speeds. That's why now the cops are adopting the same sort of vehicles.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, you have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter our keyword for No Sad Dough. The word is bank, BANK. So you can enter it on our app. You can enter it through WMMR.com, or you can text it to 45911. So you got roughly 10 minutes left to do it. The word is bank. Just jot that down or remember it if you can't do it right now, but do it shortly, all right? And if you miss out on this opportunity, know the chance coming up at 10 a.m. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. So hang out for a moment, if you will, please.
MMRBQ 2026.
Legends riding.
The all-day party you don't want to miss. Saturday, May 9th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Godsmack, Alice Cooper, The Hooters, Everclear. Plus, Des Rocks, Cammy Kehoe, Lilac, Local Shots Opener, The Circus Hearts. For a limited time, a 4-pack of lawn seats is just $144 all in, plus tax at Ticketmaster.com. From 93.3 WMMR, everything that rocks.
It's a great
Crazy.
show. Yeah.
The girls love the princess shows and whatnot.
Just like you.
Barbies. Yeah. Hey, now. Who was that?
That's great. Nice.
Dirty duck. So what did we watch? So it was Zootopia 2. That was a fun one to watch. Moana 2. Saw that the other day.
How old are your kids, Scott?
7, 5, and 4.
Oh, you're in the thick of it. Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely. It's a great time. I remember my kids like 5 was such a sweet age. That's awesome, man. You're living. That's a great spot to be in.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Thanks.
Nice, excellent. All right, well, listen, we got to run, Scott. Great to talk to you as always. Tomorrow night, like I said, Flyers are playing the Leafs. Casey will be there for the event. You can stop by Stateside Live for the whole thing, and obviously we'll catch you guys on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Say hi to JJ and the crew over there, and we'll catch up with you soon. All right, brother?
Yeah, we'll do. Casey, text me if you guys are coming over. You want to see the studio? I'll give you a little tour of that.
I would love that. Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely.
All right, Scott Hartnell, guys. Thanks, bud. We'll talk to you. Wasn't expecting Emily in Paris.
That was hilarious.
Was not expecting Emily
But
in
you
Paris.
immediately know who controls the remote.
That's great. I love it. I love it. Right now, though, these have been burning a hole in my pocket. We have not done Survey Says, and I don't know if we've done it this year yet.
Oh, man. A whole year.
Time to get into it. I have a few stories to share with you. Surveys that are done regularly, daily throughout the United States, and we're going to start with this one. It was a poll of 2,000 adults, and they asked about the most common reasons that New Year's resolutions will fail on you. Okay, so 40% of people polled set a resolution for 2026. If you just isolate Gen Z, it's 71%.
There you go.
Which is the highest of any age group. Mine is standard. It's lose weight. It's be more healthy, and I did that again this year. That's the only one. I can't think of... Maybe years past when I was a smoker, it was to quit smoking or something like that. But that's always been the same one for me.
The survey is of reasons why they fail?
Reasons why these fail. But I just started off with people that set, resolutions in the first place.
I think a lot of people set unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
I think that's it. They don't do it as incrementally as they should.
Right.
Maybe reduce smoking or try that way. A lot of people just go hard line, and that inevitably fails.
More than half of them, 52% surveyed, believe that New Year's resolutions are an effective way to reach goals. 2/3 of resolution setters claim to be all in and totally committed to achieving what they set out to do. And another 26% admit that they are not fully committed. Did you guys set any for the year?
No,
Okay.
I haven't set New Year's resolutions in a long time.
Marissa?
I didn't think of it as an effectual New Year's resolution, but the other day I started to think I'm going to, once a month, try to actually catch up with somebody who I say, let's catch up soon.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like
somebody I haven't talked to in a while.
So not one of the classic, the smoking and
Losing weight, drink, work
eating
out
better,
more.
exercise,
sleeping around.
having sex with multiple partners at the same time.
Group orgies.
Yeah. Those are attainable goals, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? So I didn't until. So I'm on an app called Strava. And it tracks your fitness.
Right.
Thing. So, when I work out, I port that over to my Strava app. When I go for bikes and runs and swims and stuff like that, that all goes to my Strava app. And then at the end of the year, it kind of gives you your year in review. And so I saw how many days active I was last year, and I want to just beat that.
You want to beat okay?
Yeah, and I had a pretty active year last year, considering I had this thing that happened to my neck at the end of the summer that kept me out of the gym, it kept me off my bike and all that stuff. And despite losing, a good month of activity, I still did pretty good. So I want to top that. I didn't go into the new year thinking, I want to do this or that. But then when I saw that and that came up, I was like, okay, yeah.
Something achievable.
Something achievable.
All right.
Yeah.
Ryan Shuttleworth, any resolutions?
Man, last year was tough enough. I just want to go into this year being like, all right, just be a better person where you can and just kind of, coast into it. Just, try and get through it unlike last year.
That's a healthy one. All right. Most New Year's resolutions fail. So why do we break them so easily? These are the most common reasons. So per the survey, and I'll work up to the top one. Feeling too unhappy or fed up, finding it too tiring, realizing that you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Finding it too boring, whatever your resolution is.
The smell of freshly baked cookies.
Number 6, working our way to number 1, is forgetting why you were doing it in the first place.
Why am I doing this again?
Yeah.
Number 5, not fitting in with your routine. Number 4, not seeing results quickly enough. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have had that happen to me before. It was 2 years ago where I wanted to go into a weight loss regimen, and I worked hard for 2-3 weeks, and I didn't see any results, and I'm like, oh.
What am I doing this
and
for?
then I just fell off.
Yeah.
I fell off of it. It was stupid. And the following year, I got it together, and I soldiered through and realized that sometimes it's a slow start. And
I've been
eventually,
doing this for 4 hours, and I have seen no results.
and eventually you get to some momentum. Number 3 is you find it too difficult to do. Whatever agreement you made with yourself was just too much.
Like sleeping around.
Number 2, giving in to temptation, obviously. And number 1, just not feeling motivated to stick with it.
I do like the idea of points on the calendar that are definitive. Okay, I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
I think,
me too.
And obviously,
it helps me.
the year rollover is a perfect time to do it.
In years past, I have definitely seen new people at the gym come New Year, and whenever I see that, I'm like, I hope I continue to see you all year long, because I have been that person who showed up, January 2nd, never on January 1st, and then stopped going like a week or so later. But this year, I want to say,
people hanging in there.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen a whole lot of new people. No.
Okay.
Steve, I like the idea of the date on the calendar. I need certain goals to keep me motivated. I'm a list maker too. If I make a list every day of the things that I want to achieve, and I get great satisfaction in crossing that off my list.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with my goals. I will set incremental goals. I'll have a big goal in mind,
right?
But
work your way towards it.
Yeah, I have little milestones along the way that I like to hit, and I'll call them small goal, medium goal,
right,
big goal, and then sometimes I even have an ultra goal that I'll put on there, and then I'll give myself a time frame and try to hit those marks, and it helps.
Yeah,
it helps me stay on track.
You have something to stay on. So, and also reward yourself.
Yes.
If you're losing weight, reward yourself with alcohol.
Please.
Right? Yeah.
Heavily.
But that's why I signed
I'm going to
up.
drink this whole bottle.
That's why I signed up for things like sprint triathlons or 5Ks or, even the Bend to the Shore. When I have something that, especially something like Bend to the Shore, which is, that it's a long ass bike ride.
Or the Olympics.
If I have that on the horizon, then that gives me a reason to get to, or get on my bike or get on into the gym. And, also anybody who is, there's I don't think it's a book. It might be an app, but it's called Couch to 5K. So if you've never run or anything like that, it is a great tool to use to just get out and get active and do a 5K. So if you see a 5K in your future, Phillies do a 5K in March, and if you see something like that, sign up for it and then get the app Couch to 5K, and it'll kind of coach you along.
Steven, you talk about giving yourself rewards. That's key. I have daily rewards.
Sure.
But I don't get to take advantage of those until I finish everything on my list. And then when I'm done, I can smoke a little weed.
So that's for me is the intermittent fasting. I hit my mark, and then I make sure. Case, I read a book that's really good called 5K to Couch, which is awesome. It's a lot easier, I found, and I've hit all my goals.
All right, another survey topic for you. This is a survey of 5,281 U.S. adults, and the question was, where do you most often dispose of your fingernail clippings?
Oh, trash can.
Trash can?
Yeah.
Okay, so you generally do it over trash can.
I try and do it over the trash can.
Steve, toilet. Marissa, do you have a spot where you deposit your clippings?
Toilet.
Yeah, I'm toilet as well. Ryan, where do you get rid of your clippings?
Trash can for me.
Trash can, okay. Number one on the survey is trash can.
Hey!
In fact, overwhelmingly so. 73% of people dispose of their clippings in trash cans.
We're the loose cannons.
We are.
Yeah.
But we're second. So not too bad. Oh, but only 7% of people use the toilet.
You know, though,
it's just convenient.
Dispose of poop in the trash can.
Wow, that's radical.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
I try to clip my fingernails. The toenails, I think it's done at the salon, you know what I'm saying? But my fingernails, I tend to clip.
I clip mine at home.
But if I don't clip my fingernails, what I'll wait to do is wait for them to get soft in the shower and then bite them because they come off better that way. And then I'll do them in the shower.
So you just chew them up in the shower?
So, not all the time, but if that's so the only two places for me, trash can, shower.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the other place I put them. Behind the couch.
Behind the couch.
Yeah. Rochelle loves that. Did you just flick your...
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been back there?
Why are you hanging up behind the couch?
That's when I'm, but I'm not actively clipping. That's when I'm I'm gnawing on my nails and we'll flick them back.
What about
there.
the scabs?
The scabs are back there too. Same spot. No problem.
It's a no man's land behind your couch.
But the toenails, Casey, I know you go to a salon for your toenails. I do it old school.
I put my foot up on the toilet seat and I clip the toenails.
So I do it while I'm sitting on the toilet, maybe taking a dump. And I will clip the nails. I'm knocking two things out at the same time, and then I just scoop them up off the floor and throw them into the toilet.
So I put my foot up on the toilet seat, and I have the
trash can behind you,
me, and I take a dump into that.
Makes sense.
Press, you are not down with going to get pedicures, right?
No, I don't like it.
All right.
All right, thank you, Marissa. We're going to talk about something here in a minute, but first, Steve was watching a video clip the other day, and I'm like, what is that? And it keeps cracking me up, and I just have to play it. I just have to play this for you. Here we go.
There's everywhere! Damn it! There's on the windows! Oh my God! My house is full of He's everywhere! Look what he did! He all over the wall!
That's Bob Saget.
So good.
It is such a gem.
It keeps cracking me up. Oh, my God. It's from Dumb and Dumberer. And there's a scene where Harry and Lloyd, I guess they go into the bathroom, and I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Blow it up. I remember seeing the movie when it came out. It was just two people who are not Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels.
Right.
And they did an okay job, but it was... and I'd forgotten this scene, but Bob was a dear friend of the show, and he tells the most amazing version of the Aristocrats joke. So he is loving this scene. He's just joyously screaming out the S word.
Yeah.
There's everywhere! Damn it! There's on the windows! Oh my God! My house is full of He's everywhere! Look what he did! He all over the wall!
My favorite one is, this right here. Yeah.
He's everywhere!
I miss Bob Saget, man.
The best.
He was so awesome, but I had no idea that existed. So get used to hearing that.
Expect that to pop up frequently.
From time to time, if there are bizarre file stories that involve feces, you will hear that. Trust me.
And by the way, if you're aware of other similar clips, please send them our way.
Yeah. All right. So new segment, Captain Elliot. Is that what we're calling this?
We invite you to turn your tray tables to their upright position. We're going to find out some interesting aviation facts from our pilot.
Yeah, I actually have. Sorry, I didn't pot it up too loud. Oh my God! Ryan brought in my flight helmet.
Scabrick?
Yeah, I didn't even know he still had this.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Well, that's a different kind of pilot. You want to be a fighter pilot or a commercial pilot?
A commercial pilot.
Right.
That's what these stories are about. But should I put it on?
Yeah, why not?
I wouldn't be able to hear anything.
It's like a return to your aviation glory.
Off, God damn it! All right.
You got to do
Scabrick.
this.
Yeah. Your microphone's writing checks your body can't cash.
I had to salute there for a moment.
Throwback.
Yes. All right, so no, I had a series of stories that involved aviation and flight and stuff like that. So
Aviation stories from Captain Elliot.
So I figured I'd throw these in here. So the FAA and Department of Transportation are targeting a new generation of air traffic controllers, and that happens to be video gamers.
This is, I think, brilliant.
Yeah.
Because, we talked the other day about when we were running the forklifts in the early days of the Camp Out for Hunger. And those controls that we were using, and we had a forklift that had a telescoping arm, they're basically video game controls.
Yeah.
And you get good at that. I know it seems like a big leap, but this makes sense to me.
The FAA will start accepting applications to alleviate the ongoing shortage of industry faces, that the industry faces. I almost said, they look like feces, actually. So.
Now you're just forcing it.
On the windows! Oh my God! My house is full of
By the way, a few people are texting in saying that they had what had happened in the movie was they melted chocolate.
Oh, okay.
And he came in and
He's everywhere!
he thought it was.
Look what he did! He all over the wall!
But anyhow, so beginning tomorrow, actually, the FAA will start accepting applications to alleviate the ongoing shortage that the industry faces.
Okay.
Not feces.
And the FAA has 11,000 controllers currently working with 4,000 trainees in the pipeline, but needs thousands more to be fully staffed.
Well, you're dealing with people who have been using controllers, who are looking at screens. And listen, and what if their game of choice is Flight Simulator or,
Well, listen, I just started watching the documentary Sky King. We were talking about it off air last week. I mean, essentially, this guy who hijacked the plane and took it for a joyride for a long time, I feel like he learned it from watching video games. Yeah.
He did, Casey. Yeah. And listen, not to bring up a horrible thing, but 9/11. Those guys learned to fly the aircraft through Flight Simulator. I had that game back when, PCs were choppy and everything, and you didn't get much resolution out of it.
No, you're right.
But it was detailed to exactly what the cockpits of certain aircraft were like.
Yep.
and it was very, very much
My word for
specific.
it, unforgiving.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, oh, it'll fudge it for you.
You weren't playing around.
You had to get good at that. And obviously, Ryan, you know.
Oh, they're incredible. I mean, what you have now. So when I started my career in aviation, like I first was introduced to it from video games. I remember when I was younger, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they added planes in there, and I was just better than my friends at flying the airplanes. I was like, this is kind of cool, and just one thing led to another, and wound up flying them for a bit.
One of the best parts of any like World War II game when you're getting into a dogfight. But you realize, and obviously, Ryan, this is something that you'd be. I'm sure you weren't doing a lot of barrel rolls when you were doing your deal, but when you're flying and doing that and evading someone who's on your tail, like a fighter pilot would, Scabrick, you really realize how disoriented you are.
Oh my God, yeah. I used to. There was a game on the Oculus.
Yes,
was that what you're about to ask?
I was about to ask you, what was that called?
It was a World War I aircraft dogfight and actually ground strikes and stuff that you were doing, which is interesting because they didn't have much technology in World War I. But anyhow, it was extremely realistic, and you'd get vertigo, and it was a really strange sensation.
Yeah, the Air and Space Museum in DC has like full every degree motion simulator for it, so you can get in these dogfights, whether it's World War II aircraft, you can do like F-15s, and you get the full sensation of doing barrel rolls, and it is pretty wild.
One of the best, and it's the when the PlayStation introduced their VR. They had, I think it was Battle. What was it? Battlefield? What was the Star Wars games that we love? The Battle.
Oh yeah,
Battlefront.
Yep.
So with the 3D package on the PlayStation VR, you were in a TIE fighter. No, go TIE, and you were flying around these cruisers. And the thing is that with the way the regular two-dimension video games are, they'd have to put an arrow to kind of tell you where you're looking. But now with the 3D, you got that full experience. It's just a great game.
Casey Marissa found the game. It was called Warplanes World War I Fighters.
That was great.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So anyhow, gamers are encouraged to, quote, they said, level up your career on the hiring website, which includes mission requirements and lists technology being rolled out as part of the department's effort to bring the air traffic control system into the 21st century.
Yeah, a lot of the equipment is old.
The agency is amid a multi-year plan to eliminate old technology like floppy disks, copper wiring, and paper flight strips from the air traffic control system. The website promises, and they're using all this terminology, high score rewards, including paid training, government benefits, and average yearly earnings exceeding $155,000 plus after 3 years of service. The number of air traffic controllers in the U.S. has declined by about 6% in the last decade. And over the last several years, the shortage was fueled by the pandemic, along with multiple government shutdowns and other unexpected trends in the market. So that's been a turnoff.
It's been a massive turnoff.
Yep.
I wonder how much AI is going to figure into the air traffic control of the future.
Meaning using that as
a
guide.
And how much that can take over.
Yeah, not sure. This is not actually the first time that the FAA has targeted gamers for controller jobs. In 2021, the agency launched a Level Up hiring campaign, which sought to attract video game players and diversify the workforce. According to the Department of Transportation, approximately 25% of controllers hold a traditional college degree. So it's pretty low, 25%. 65% of Americans regularly play video games. The agency believes the positive cognitive influences like thinking quickly, staying focused, and managing complexity would translate well for the intense task that controllers need to compete. I have heard, or to complete, that it's a high stressful job.
Very much so.
And I'll tell you a good example is the movie Sully.
Yeah.
Because they have, they're not only showing what's going on in the aircraft, but they go back to the control towers, and what those guys are going through to try to figure out what's going on. It's just like they talk so fast.
They do.
It's amazing.
That would be the hardest part, right?
Yeah, Ryan. The jargon and the speed at which it's said is, I guess, after you hear it time over and over and over and over again, you get used to it.
Yeah, it comes with repetition. I have a few friends who are air traffic controllers, and they will admit it is an insanely stressful job.
Try to figure this out. Here's a clip of a pilot right here.
He's everywhere.
I get the
We
gist.
have a feces issue aboard the flight. One of our lavatories is backed up. The co-pilot will explain what happened.
He everywhere.
Hang on. I think he's saying that he defecated everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan,
picked up on
you're
that.
the pilot. Is that what you're getting from that?
You're reading that 100% correctly,
all
Casey.
right.
Oh, look at you,
But
Casey.
pilot.
DJ.
Yeah.
DJ. Ryan.
Yes.
Were you able to
Did you record that, executive producer?
Were you able to get that delivery down as far as communicating back and forth?
Yeah. So the understanding with that, it takes a lot of practice. I mean, the hardest part is when you're trying to figure out how do I get to the runway. Like, is they're going, all right, you're gonna go from taxiway Echo Romeo to blah 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 to XYZ da 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 da, and they're going a mile a minute, and a lot of times when you're starting out, you'll jot everything down. You have a little notepad. You'll write everything down.
Let's go for sidelong Congo.
Everywhere.
Sorry, I had to piggyback.
Go for sidelong Congo.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. But you doodle everything down. You get to the rhythm. You get to the flow.
Yeah.
Give me your best pilot voice.
Oh God.
Yeah. What you would normally sound like when you were communicating with the control tower.
All right, so I'll be the tower.
Sure.
What is something I would say to you that would give you a response?
He asked everywhere.
Oh my God.
Just say that you're cleared for landing on runway 1. I don't know.
All right, and I'll give you a Whiskey Bravo 555. You're cleared for takeoff on runway 1. Whatever. Fuck, I messed the door.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Oops. Yeah. I dropped the F-bomb.
It is stressful, right?
He everywhere.
Tower, Whiskey Echo Bravo 55. Can you repeat that? Whiskey
all right, well, anyway.
It's pretty cool, though. I think this makes sense, and there is, and I think in the world of medicine too, they say that if there is there's a correlation between the hand-eye acuity and the stress.
By the way, the banter back and forth, I've told you guys, I've sometimes with my ASMR, that's kind of a trigger, and you can find on YouTube, there's like hours of just air traffic control.
Does it hit you in your happy spot?
Yeah, it does. Right. It doesn't. Well, I don't,
blow a load,
get like a boner or anything like that. But that's right.
Need to be professional.
This is from the bizarre file earlier. These are two pilots in the tower communicating.
Meow, 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 meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ. It was funny the first 5 minutes.
All right. Let me see here. So anyhow, if you're a gamer and you're reaching that point in your life where career opportunities need to open up for you, consider this. Consider an air traffic control job.
I said the other day, my wife and I are playing the game It Takes Two. Mm-hmm. Shows you how to work with people, problem solve.
Yeah.
I could fly a jumbo jet.
Yeah. Gaming is definitely, it's got its place in, I think. And it'll be a time for another conversation about what video gaming has prepared you for, or you think you could do.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're a good gamer. But I have other flight stories. Thank you.
Ready for another F-bomb from Captain Elliot.
Oh, my God. So Wallet Hub just released their list of the best airlines of 2026. They compared the 9 largest U.S. airlines along with 2 regional carriers on 16 key factors, and they include things like cancellation and delay rates, baggage mishaps, leg room, Wi-Fi, cost in relation to amenities, and more. And the big winner this year is Spirit Airlines.
How the hell did that happen?
Best airline overall, as well as most affordable airline and most reliable airline. I've never flown Spirit.
No, but I've heard nothing but complaints from people who do, but I think you're dealing with it's economical.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're just,
Is it Spirit or Frontier that you've heard that about?
Spirit.
Okay.
They're similar, but the same thing that crosses my path with Frontier. People complain about it, but the people who are complaining about it don't actually fly it.
Yeah, that could be the point, Marissa. Because I don't know,
They're just saying what they've heard.
They're repeating. Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Assuming that it's rickety bag of bones.
Yeah, it's
bitch.
It's budget. The seats aren't like padded like you get in like a US Air, or did I say US Air? American Air.
Yeah. TWA.
It gets you where you need to go.
Do you know the biggest complaints, though, if you're talking about Spirit is more economical, It's the cost.
Yeah.
It's the cost. So I told you guys there's some travel in my wife's future, and I was doing a little checking up on prices. And the travel agent we use came back to us and he says, just for a simple upgrade seat-wise, it was the cost of the entire vacation.
Oh my!
It's like,
yeah,
sure. He goes, that is
Yeah.
outlandish.
So they made it for best overall and most affordable and most reliable, which is pretty important. Most comfortable airlines. It's a 4-way tie between JetBlue, Hawaiian, American, and Southwest. They lead the pack for in-flight experience and offering free amenities like Wi-Fi, extra legroom, and complimentary snacks and beverages. The safest airline, Frontier, came back as that.
Wow.
So I
That's
wonder
because they're never leaving the ground.
Yeah. That would be my question. How many flights do they fly compared to the other airlines?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? They do fly less flights. And I have found out that airlines like Frontier and Spirit, they're like filling gaps in the schedule.
Okay, that makes sense. And the most pet-friendly, it was a tie between SkyWest Airlines and Envoy Air. So here's the ranking from number 1 to, like I said, they ranked all 11 U.S. Air, the largest in the United States. So Spirit was number 1, followed by Southwest, SkyWest, Alaska. Hawaiian is 5th. And then you have JetBlue, Delta. American, which we're a hub for, is 8 on this list, followed by Frontier, United, and Envoy, or Envoy. I don't know how you pronounce it.
So, you always hear about the incredible flight experiences on Crazy Rich Asians. What was that? What airline?
Like Emirates or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
They're not on this list?
No, this is U.S. only.
Oh, just U.S. only.
U.S.
Okay.
Airlines.
Well, that would explain why they're not on the list.
Yes, it would.
I flew Qatar a few years ago when they just added flight paths to Philly.
What'd you think?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Steve, everybody got a little baggie. And it had like a eye mask in it and some socks.
Really?
And like a
Nice.
toothbrush.
Yeah,
Just like
everybody?
that. Yeah.
Not even first class.
Everybody. I was just
Wow.
in regular coach.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Hang on, I got to call Roger, flies Spirit all the time. Hi, Roger. You're on the air, buddy.
How you doing, guys?
Good. What's up, man?
Not much. I'm here. I'm just listening to you talking about my airline of choice, Spirit Airline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Jamaican, and I fly back home 2-3 times a year. And the first 3 times I fly JetBlue, 1 time I flew American Airlines, and then somebody suggested Spirit. I took it, and ever since then, I recommend Spirit to a lot of people.
And what are the main reasons for that, Roger, that you recommend it?
Because they're always on time, no delays.
Okay.
That is a big
Always
consideration. Yeah.
And the price is good, too.
So do you miss, I don't know if this matters to you, do you sense that you're getting less amenities or any of that stuff, or does that matter to you?
No, it doesn't matter much to me because, I walk with my my food all the time, so
okay,
I'm good on that part.
Would you say it's Irie?
If it's Irie?
Yeah.
Irie, man.
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
I love that.
Roger, when you fly, do you check bags or do you usually just do the limited carry-on or personal item?
Oh, I take like 4 or 5 bags home every time. So
Okay.
I don't check back.
All right. So, well, then maybe
I find that. Go ahead.
No. I said, Roger, I'm thinking that you make me reconsider Spirit then, But it sounds pretty good.
I'm flying it next week.
Yeah, are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Roger will be on your flight.
Well, I mean, listen, when we're going back and forth to visit my daughter from, in Michigan State, we fly into Detroit. It's not that long of a flight. I mean, it's like an hour and a half there, hour 15 minutes back or whatever. And you don't want, and it can get expensive. And so we've flown Frontier there and back and Spirit. And I got to say, like, I have never had an issue with Spirit.
All right.
Roger. But I do kind of put them in the same, like in a Frontier or Spirit.
And maybe they each catch the crap of the other.
Yep.
Okay.
No, Frontier is way off. They're always late, lose your baggage. My wife, she used to fly Frontier, but now she's on board with me. And one other thing with Frontier, they're always a delay. If you have a connection, you miss your flight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you got connecting
And
flights,
they
obviously.
charge you for even the bag you buy. And if you buy some food in the airport lobby, they want to charge you for that up front.
Nice. By the way, Roger might be our first Jamaican listener we've had call in.
Congratulations,
over the years.
Roger.
Thank you,
No,
Roger.
I got hooked in the bizarre file like 2 years now, and my wife think I'm crazy, but I'll stay crazy with WMMR.
We love that, buddy. Thanks for calling in, man.
You're welcome, guys.
He's our official
Thank you.
Jamaican.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's Roger. Nice. Oh, yes. We're there right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roger.
So, so the top airlines, that was according to Wallet Hub, and that was their rankings for the year. So that's a bit of a surprise right there. How much time do we have left? Can we have a little time, Case?
Yeah. Let's do one more. Yeah, short little puddle. Oh, you want to take
I didn't
a
know if I
call?
wanted to go to these calls or not. I like the fact Tony is a C-130 pilot and can answer pilot questions. I don't really have any right now, but I would like to be able to talk to him at some point. Let me see if my next story has something that he can...
Is it about the fecal situation on airplanes, Preston?
Everywhere!
How did you know that? No, it's not. And so, thank you, Tony. Call back another time. I have a completely different story.
I think Tony is streaming us from Italy right now.
Have him hold on. Hang on. Have him hold on. If he's streaming from Italy, that's all right. That's a whole other dynamic. We got to go. Tony, we are going to have you on. Hey, man.
Hey, Captain Elliot, can you hear me right? I'm calling
I can hear you, sir. Yes. Are you in Italy?
I am.
Wow. All right. And you're a C-130 pilot. That is crazy. How long have you been doing that?
Yeah, that's correct. I started flying it in 2019.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I assume you're over in Italy for your job, or are you on vacation?
No, yeah, for my job, I'm actually an exchange pilot with the Italian Air Force right now.
Interesting. That is when you happen to catch sight of a C-130 in the air,
It's
you're like,
amazing.
Look at that thing.
I need to see a picture of that. I don't know.
They're
It's
massive.
big.
Yeah, they're
Big
just
ones?
it's a cargo plane. How are they the largest, Tony, of cargo planes in the military?
No, actually, relatively speaking, it's pretty small. It's about the size of a Southwest 737.
Shut up.
But if you put it next to a C5, it looks like a toy.
No kidding.
Have you flown? Have you flown the larger, or do you have to get qualified or licensed on those?
I've been on board, but no, I'm only qualified on the C-130.
Wow, it's still impressive. Yeah.
Are you usually transporting people or large, big pieces of machinery, or what do you do?
Yeah, we do it all. People, vehicles, cargo. We also do airdrop, people, cargo as well.
Okay. Now listen, Tony, did you hear the clip I played earlier of the pilots meowing back and forth?
I did.
And that probably doesn't happen often in the military, or does it?
And we try to avoid that. And also, you cursing on the radio earlier, that's a big no-no in aviation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a brand new captain.
Well,
I just got my wings.
He heard it because he was streaming, right?
Yeah. Sure. Well, cool. Well, Tony, stay in touch with us, man. We don't have a lot of time, and we're mainly talking about commercial stuff right now and things that don't really pertain to your expertise, but we would like to have you.
Can we go along on a ride someplace?
Yeah, can you take us for a ride?
I've been looking. I've wanted to. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to do an airdrop at the Camp Out for Hunger.
Oh, dude,
we're all over that.
Hell
Make it
yes.
an elephant with a parachute. I saw a movie.
Yeah. Hey, and Tony, when you're not on exchange, where do you fly out of? Are you in like McGuire? I don't even know what's around here anymore.
And the C-130 in the States, we're only out of Arkansas and Texas. I was in Texas before coming here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you checking in. That's very cool.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, take care, bud. We'll see you.
Pretty cool.
All right, so I'll do one more quickie here because we do have to take a bread in a moment, but we have to take a bread in a moment.
Yeah.
I like bread.
Who's got bread, man?
Everybody knows. Bread service will commence in about 10 minutes. Our flight staff will be around handing out rye bread and pumpernickel.
God. Oh, my God. Okay. One last thing.
Bread?
Air New Zealand is debuting a new way for economy passengers to actually lie down mid-flight, which is...
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's the best when you have the opportunity to do that. So they are introducing SkyNest. They are pods designed for long-haul travel. The setup includes 6 private bunk-style spaces with beds, bedding, and extras like eye masks and skincare kits.
Yes.
Letting travelers book a 4-hour sleep session starting at $495. The feature will debut on ultra-long 18-hour flights between New York and Auckland starting this November.
So there are all sorts of pods and, all the way on up to, every sort of configuration you could possibly use. You're saying you can jump into one of these from your seat and grab a quick nap or go to sleep, or do you book this bunk for the entire flight?
It says a 4-hour sleep session.
4-hour sleep session.
So for essentially $500.
Huh.
And
that's not crazy.
That's on top of your ticket.
Yeah.
So this would be like you would book this as well. But the problem is I don't know when I'm going to be tired on a flight.
Yeah.
Unless it's, listen, an 18-hour flight.
Right.
You can kind of gauge when you might be sleepy. So
with the situation we're looking at, I assume you all are, because you wouldn't be wanting to sleep this way with people you did not know.
So they're bunks.
Yeah.
Think of an aircraft carrier or a submarine. Something small like that they're layered 3. They're vertically. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't bother me, but if you just really want to lay down and catch some Z's.
I mean, we're looking at a picture here in the studio. Is this a mock-up or?
It's a rendering.
Yeah. Okay.
But what it appears to be taking up the center aisle in the aircraft.
Yeah, it's almost where they removed bathrooms and put these in.
Oh my God, they got rid of the bathrooms?
Everywhere!
You're welcome.
You crawl into your bunk.
What is this?
Everywhere!
So anyway.
What about, we're talking, Preston, on the flip side of the coin, the standing flights.
Oh, yeah. So that's for very, very short
flights.
Commuter flights.
Yeah.
That I still have yet
Would
to
you
see.
go to Australia standing?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. So probably not, but, a flight to Boston. Something like that.
Yeah.
You could stand on that. All right, anyhow, Casey, give me the wrap-up
Yeah,
signal.
sorry.
So, sorry, we got to come in for a landing now.
Hope you enjoyed the flight. No, there are a number of radio stations you could have picked this morning. We appreciate you picking ours. Captain Elliot signing out.
All right, so we do need to take a break because Dionne Warwick is going to be joining us when we return. The legendary Dionne Warwick, who is awesome. And a few other guests, too. We'll get them on in a moment. Stay with us. I hated it.
Because my pedicurist, she left, but she traveled.
What did you do to her?
I didn't do anything to her. She just wasn't happy with where she was, and now I'm going to have to go up to your neck of the woods because she's in freaking Lansdale now.
What?
Yeah.
You're going to travel that far?
I told her I would. Not all the time. I cannot go to. She's at Hollywood Nails on Main Street in Lansdale. So
she's your gal.
She's my gal. Listen, anybody who lives in that Lansdale area, if you want to get a great pedicure, ask for Yen. Her American name is Lisa.
Okay.
Ask for Yen or Lisa at Hollywood Nails on Main Street in Lansdale. But
She does your manicures and your painting and all that stuff?
I don't do manicures, pedicures.
Pedicures.
Yeah, she does all that. But she's really listen.
Why don't you do a manicure if you're doing?
I've done manicures because I don't need them, you know.
right.
And I really like the foot massage at a pedicure.
Okay, it's the foot massage thing that really draws you
But
in.
then also. I get ingrown toenails on both of my big toes, and Yen really gets in there. And,
You son of a bitch.
It hurts, but it's like a weird pain that I like at the same time.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but they
I know
make
what
you
mean.
cry, pussy.
And I know we've talked about it before, but we should revisit it. The distance you will travel for a service.
Yeah.
From an individual who is, either it's a haircut or something along those lines, but it's worth it for you for
You've got
whatever
your
reason.
person.
Yeah, so the lady who cuts my hair with regularity, her name's Jackie, and she lives in, I'll give you her exact address. No, she lives in Westbrook Park area, and she used to cut this guy's hair who was a priest at Holy Cross, which is right there. He's now in Vineland, New Jersey, and he travels from Vineland to Clifton Heights.
You go with what
to get
you
his
know.
haircut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, by the way, number 2 is toilet, where you deposit your fingernail clippings. Number 3 is outside. Number 4 is in the sink. Number 5 is I leave them where they fall. 3% said that.
Very cavalier.
6% said I never clip them. Wow. Okay.
Oh, some people.
Do you know I get rid of my old mail in the toilet as well?
Wow.
Yeah.
How long does it take for a nail to decompose? Right.
I don't know. I you would think a while.
Right.
It's keratin, right?
Yeah.
So, I think it sticks around for a long time. Some 7%, 2% said somewhere else, and 8% said they're not sure. I don't know what I do.
forgot.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Another survey. This was a poll of 2,000 smartphone users and owners. 47. This is the top phone habits that people want to kick. They hope to kick. So 47% said they really want to spend less time on their phones in general this year. The average person spends 3 hours a day on their phones. Wow. And for Gen Z, that jumps to over 5 hours
Stop and think about that. Stop and think about how connected we are now. And it just makes you feel terrible if you find yourself doom scrolling. It just sucks the life out of you.
But part of it too is like a text. Like if you get a text, are you supposed to stop everything you're doing and respond to that? Or can you prioritize that and say, I don't want to be on my phone right now. I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up.
I want to get off my phone and get onto my computer and visit Pornhub.
Well, and scrolling is part of it as well. But yesterday, like we had Crystal Marie on, and she posted pictures of being here in the studio and everything. And I went through and I looked at them. And then I started looking at the comments, and she was responding to every single comment. And I'm like, that is a lot of time.
It
That
is.
is a lot of time out of the day. Now, she's got a different work schedule than we do.
Right.
And maybe I would have more time if I was doing comedy at night and pretty much my days were kind of open.
But also that is kind of work for her, right? So when you engage
That's a
with
good
people
point.
who engage with you, it helps gain, followers and all that stuff.
I don't really respond to the ones if I don't post that often on social media, but I posted one the other day. I got a lot of responses. They're great. I did read them, but the idea of going through and responding to every single one is just it's too much of a time suck.
Well, and for her, it could sell tickets.
Yeah.
If someone's like, oh, you're in town, you respond personally, that person's going to go out and buy tickets.
So according to the survey, nearly a third of respondents, 31% admit that they check their phone within 10 minutes of waking up every day, and another 30% do it most days. Almost a quarter, 23%, have already tried to do a digital detox, but that lasts less than a day.
I wonder
for 18% of them.
In the pecking order of things and habits to kick, and we know how a nicotine habit compares to a heroin habit and an addiction. Where does an addiction to tech, to your phone, where does that fall?
Well, so for me, I know it's harder when I'm here, but like when I did my trip to the Grand Canyon, where I had no choice, there was no cell signal. It was so easy and it was so refreshing.
Sure.
But here where I don't have that,
That's when you got
ripped away from me.
Lost and were able to survive on some beans.
Thank God I put the beans in the flashlight, Steve. Yeah, I told you that story.
It's a great story.
So these are the top 10 habits that people hope to kick in 2026. Number 10, using their phone to check the time, then getting distracted instead of just wearing a watch. Number 9, scrolling on the toilet. Number 8, checking their phone during conversations. Yeah, that's bad. Number 7, downloading apps that they never use. Number 6, they want to kick the habit of forgetting or taking a long time to reply to messages. I do that too, especially if I get a message and I'm in the middle of something. I get a text message, I glance at it, and I'm like, this is going to take more time than I have right now to answer this, so I'll get back to it later. Then it falls down the scroll, and you lose it, and you never respond to that person.
It's the weirdest thing. A lot of times, if you don't hear back from me, it's because I really wanted to get back to you.
Me
If
too.
that makes any sense, because it's fallen into that hole.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I want to spend some time with this, and but then other cases, it's like, okay, I'm trying to train myself to let me just do it right now, because if it will go into oblivion if I don't get to it.
I'm guilty of that. I want to give this person more time, so I'll do it later. I have 1,240 unread text messages.
Unread text messages.
Yep.
Nah, I like to keep mine at 0.
Good for you.
I have one.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that. Now my mail
Yeah, that's
in my
a different
mailbox, let me see where that is at. That's currently at 321,862.
Jesus. All right. Opening things that people want to kick as far as their phone habits go. Opening social media as soon as they wake up.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Don't do that.
Number 4, constantly checking for notifications even when none are there. So if I post something, that's me. I'm like constantly going back. All right, how many views? How many likes?
You are.
How many blah, blah, blah. Who did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that lasts for like a day, and then the post is old. But so much so that I hate that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I hate
You
the
hate
fact
yourself.
that I'm going back and I'm trying to hit, I'm that rat hitting the feeder bar for the heroin, you know?
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right, be honest. How many times a day do you check in with your jerk mate?
Yeah. I've never heard of jerkmate
never
before.
heard.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just thought,
Yo, ever heard of jerkmate?
number 4, constantly checking. Yeah, I already have that. Number 3, never cleaning your phone, meaning cleaning out.
I think putting it in the washing machine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
I
means.
think actually cleaning the phone with the screen and
Does that mean that? Okay.
that's what I would perceive it as, unless they're talking about cleaning out apps.
Oh, did you ever see those videos where they'll like get the dust inside the like charger port and things like that?
I've seen
it's
that
very like ASMR for me.
Well, they do like a wax type of
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
It's almost like a rubbery,
Or like a putty or like a glue.
like a gelatin.
Yeah.
Taking their phone to bed and scrolling until they fall asleep.
I never do that.
I don't either.
No.
And then number 1, taking up storage with duplicate or unneeded photos. These are the things that people want to kick.
Yeah.
Or the habits they want to kick with their phones.
Do you remember years ago, before the cell phones and these kind of things, you get a hotel room that had a phone in the bathroom, and it was such a wild thing. Like, I think I'm going to call somebody while I'm taking a dump.
I actually had this thought yesterday. I went to Acme to get some milk, and as I was walking out, I was thinking about those a-holes that would go into the supermarket, and they would grab a gallon of milk and then just smash it on the floor, and they would do that for views on whatever, and they thought it was so funny. And I just think that those little pricks are what a-holes, man. And somebody else is going to clean that up. And then I was like, oh my God, if I would have had a cell phone in 7th and 8th grade,
You probably would have done
and
that.
in high school, I would have been an insufferable a-hole.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, think about how
Well, it's
insufferable
enabling
I am
you.
now.
Well,
you know,
if you're an attention whore, and look at all these people that do this stuff.
Yeah. All right, I have another survey. And this one actually came up in conversation the other day, and we didn't get a chance to explore it. It has to do with crowdfunding. And it has obviously emerged as a convenient way to get help, covering costs for emergency treatment or, sports equipment, anything in between. But there are some opinions on crowdfunding. And there was the survey that they did. Number 1, they found out where most crowdfunding donations go to. And the most go to medical causes. 39% are for medical expenses or healthcare causes, or at least that's what's being presented.
Right.
17% for a memorial or funeral. 10% for groceries or daily necessities. 8% veterinary expenses or animal causes. 7% natural disaster relief or for an individual or community. 4% for equipment or materials for youth sports or activities. Number 3, education expenses or causes. These are crowdfunding. And 3%, a life event such as a wedding. But the poll shows that Americans, including crowdfunding donors, have some doubts about whether people who crowdfund really need the money and use it responsibly. Most U.S. adults don't have high confidence in the crowdfunding sites. That crowdfunding sites charge reasonable service fees or that campaigns generally reach their goals.
I think we've talked over the past number of years. There have been so many GoFundMe scams and other crowdfunding scams and you hear about them all the time, that I think reflexively people go, what is this?
Yeah. I remember back in the day before crowdfunding was a thing on the this is basically before the internet. I had friends that basically this is crowdfunding, all right?
Yeah.
They would crowdfund to get money so they could get a beach house for the summer. And the way they would do it, because you got to think these are, probably 19, 20, 21-year-old people, they would get like a fire hall, and they would hold a beef and beer. And, for $10, and you got to think, like, as a, young person, all I want to do is just like go somewhere and drink beer out of a red Solo cup or whatever.
To me, that's different in tone, though.
I know that, but
you're actually, because what you're doing is your money's going to the actual circuitously purchasing your beef and beer.
Yeah.
A GoFundMe is just Here you go.
Yeah, Casey was saying this was before the days of crowdfunding.
Right.
Yeah. And wouldn't have blinked twice at what the money was going to. You just,
But would you ever think to go to could you do a GoFundMe? Hey, me and my boys want to
get a beach house. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you people do, though.
Yeah.
The amount of things that'll end up in crowdfunding,
right?
GoFundMe type. What's the other site that competes with GoFundMe? It's similar name, but anyway, people put up very frivolous things.
Yeah, well, so when the main thing that made me think about that, Steve, is Preston listed like weddings in there. That's not on anybody else to pay for to crowdfund and pay for somebody's wedding, and it's not necessarily on me to make sure that you get a cool ass beach house, for an entire summer.
So I just Googled GoFundMe beach house.
Okay.
And somebody is saying save Nanny's home in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh. Well, there you go.
This family
You're saving Nanny's home.
Well, this family can't afford the house. So they're trying to raise money to collect. They've gotten almost $11,000 out of $24,000.
Yeah.
Their goal.
That's a little different than renting a beach house, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Give us a place to go this summer.
Participation still lags behind more formal avenues for giving, though. Overall, the share of Americans who said that they had given to a crowdfunding campaign was far fewer than the roughly 7 in 10 who indicate that they made a charitable contribution in 2025. It's just through the crowdfunding, a little less participation. These efforts lend themselves to small gifts. The AP NORC poll found that 6 in 10 crowdfunding donors gave $50 or less when they last supported a campaign. The lower donation sizes underscore the importance of strong personal networks. Without offline connections or large social media reach, campaigns can face difficulties reaching the critical mass of small dollar contributors necessary to meet their goal.
When you donate, if you have donated, do you go anonymously? Do you put your name up? How do you go about it?
It depends on what the event is, but we have done anonymous donations before. But for the most part, I'll put my name down.
One of my little gripes about GoFundMe is I wish that you could edit what your name is.
Yeah.
So I wish that I could write like from the Magnotta family or something like that.
To be true, you have to go with your straight up name.
When you're donating it, it's weird if it's just coming from you.
So when I post or make any donation, I always put it from the Magnotta family, which is a weird. That's good. I don't know why.
That's the name on your Venmo or whatever it is. I love it.
So there are broad doubts about whether the crowdfunding sites charge reasonable service fees or not. The poll found only 44% of U.S. adults are at least somewhat confident that the sites charge reasonable service fees. I don't even know what the service fees are. I've never set one up, so I don't know. More than half of U.S. adults were at least somewhat confident that people who raise money through crowdfunding sites really need the money, and about half were at least somewhat confident that they use it responsibly, but only about 1 in 10 were very or extremely confident. So
that's a low ratio.
That is. All right, one more prompt and right on time. We were told 9:08 a.m. and look at that, like a professional.
Well, she's a legend
that you would expect. She is a legend, man. She's at any Hall of Fame you can be in, pretty much.
Yeah,
she's in,
and deservedly so.
The industry is concerned, and all the awards she has won throughout the years. And just we were reminiscing about music off air from her. And she's got a new album out. It's called Duets, spelled DWUETS. I'm going to play a clip of this. This is her. This is Dionne Warwick and duetting with Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
And this song is called Ocean in the Desert. We'll play just a little snippet for you here.
I will come in with a cool wind. I'll pull you in, run to me. I'll be an ocean in the desert. Come and find me. I'll be the water when you wander and you're thirsty.
She's had a 65-year career. Please welcome the one and only Dionne Warwick to our program. Dionne, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We are wonderful. It is such a treat to speak to you, may I say, that we are humbled by everything that you've done. So thanks for coming on this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Of course.
This Dionne seems to be a perfect fit. I remember watching Cynthia Erivo during the Kennedy Center honors. She came out and sang "What's It All About, Alfie?" A great song that obviously you had made famous. And did that moment have a strike up a friendship with you too, or did that lead to this?
I met Cynthia before before the Kennedy Center, and look, she was in a play called Color Purple,
Yeah.
and I happened to go see her in that show. It was many years ago now. When she did Alfie on the Kennedy Center, I made up my mind to let her know that she had just done the definitive version of Alfie.
Wow.
Was taking it out of my show. She had. It's her song now.
Wow. She had to have been delighted to hear that from you.
Well, yes, she was. But, I mean, I truly meant it. I've heard a lot of people attempt, that's the word I'm looking for, to sing Alfie. Because it's not the easiest song in the world to sing. But she put a Cynthia on it.
Well, this song is beautiful, and obviously it's DW, duets, and Dionne Warwick, who's a juggernaut songwriting, is associated with the album as well. The one thing that we are not happy about hearing is that this is, you're saying, your final album. We see a lot of people go out on their final concert tours and then have 2 or 3 more after that.
Yeah.
Is this really final?
Yeah, it is. I feel like I've given, now going into my 67th year.
Wow.
And it's time to give a little time for Dionne, don't you think?
I think so. I can listen.
You've earned it.
It's such an honor to talk to you, because I was telling these guys earlier and mentioning it on air that I remember clearly my dad had a company car. It was one of the first cars to have an 8-track, and you were on all the time. And I remember it. I mean, it's so weird for the kids and their parents listening to the same music and loving it, but the Burt Bacharach stuff. And I mean, for you to, and somebody pointed this out in an interview with you, that the British invasion came through and you survived all of that. You were always, do you even look back in amazement at your career?
Every now and then I'll stop and say, wow.
Yeah.
I'm still standing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, and there was also not only the music career, but the television career, too. Yeah. And because I remember Solid Gold was huge when I was a kid. And you've been involved in Soul Train and a variety of things throughout the year. And then, of course, we remember seeing you with the psychic commercials, too.
Great.
But there was a time where you couldn't turn without seeing Dionne Warwick. Was that the busiest, maybe the busiest time of your life, Dionne, when you were,
Absolutely. It seemed like I was the kid they wanted. And it was wonderful. I enjoyed every single minute of every single phase that you just went through.
Wow.
Well, I think this album is going to reignite. I mean, it sounds as every bit fresh and vital as something, you've done throughout your career. I mean, this is just a great sound. And there is a rumor that there is a Dionne Warwick biopic in the works, and the name Tiana Taylor has been thrown about. I think that's a perfect choice. Is that, in fact, what's happening?
That's absolutely what's happening.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's just like I said. Let's get Dionne time.
Well, you know what, Dionne, in films and biopictures, there's usually a difficult struggle that the main story has in it. Were there moments in your life that were on the darker side, or were looking really kind of like things were going to go bad, but turned around to be you came out of it?
No, what? That's one of the things that avoided me, which is wonderful. Anything dark. I'm always been in the light, and I like the light. I've never had anything crazy happen to me.
Well, you've been associated with so many good memories. Your music, I mean, That's What Friends Are For, Walk On By, I Say a Little Prayer. Then came you, the working with Burt Bacharach.
Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I can see where I was the first time I heard those songs, and you provided that throughout so many years, and you did a great service to the people of Philadelphia.
Yes.
When you eulogized our good friend Jerry Blavitt.
Yeah.
Jerry was so dear to me. I loved him so much.
Yeah, and I did not realize it, but he was one of your main champions early on in your career.
He broke my record in Philly. Don't Make Me Over, my very first recording.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. And I came down and I did a hop for him. At that time, this was very popular. And he just remained so committed to me, which is amazing. And I absolutely adored him. It was my pleasure to have been able to be at his homecoming.
Wow. Dionne, you've worked with the legends throughout the years, obviously. And, you know, Steve had mentioned that's what Friends are for.
Yeah.
And that obviously had a stellar lineup of musicians. Who is another superstar that has kind of been, I mean, the word soulmate is a little strong to use, but a real confidant that we would like hearing about?
I guess you'd say Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not with us, and I miss him terribly.
Yeah, he was
Luther
amazing.
and I spoke every single day. And sometimes it was in the early part of the day, or sometimes it was pretty late at night. He would call me during his escapades with his, he was a devout wrestling fan. And he knew every wrestler there ever was.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he would call me at the middle of the night after the because he had them all on video. And he would sit up in the middle of the night and watch this wrestling fan. And he told me, Did you see this? Did you? I said, no, I know nothing about wrestling.
This is Luther Vandross we're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That's
hilarious.
Never knew that wrestling was his passion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
All right,
Wow.
well, then I have to ask you about something else. I was doing a little research, and there apparently existed at your house, this is the rumor, a summit with you, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, sure did.
Wow.
What was the basis of that?
Lyrics.
Lyrics?
But they were known as gangsta rappers, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And not only them, the Suge Knight was also a part of it. Corrupt was also a part of the meeting. It was something I felt that I did not deserve to be thought of as the one who was perpetuating craziness within their careers.
Right.
And I said to them, I said, if you think I am a problem, then make me a part of the solution. And we sat and talked for quite a long time. And as it turned out, I'm thrilled that I had that summit with them.
That's so wild.
It was meaningful. And apparently it was meaningful to them. I still get a call every other day from Snoop.
Oh, man.
That's great.
You called him out again not too long ago, right? Just a few years ago?
Yeah, sure did.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Well, I'm glad they showed you the proper respect. The word was that you said be to my house at 7 a.m., and they arrived at 7 on the dot.
On the dot, my doorbell rang at 7 a.m.
That is impressive.
Some of the biggest, badasses in that realm showing up and being properly respectful of Dionne Warwick.
Wow.
Yeah, they were.
I love that.
And like I said to them, make me a part of the solution, and that's what we're still working on now.
That's great.
That's excellent. Well, Dionne, we're happy that you're carrying on with this, and that you have the new duets record out. The single is called Ocean in the Desert. You and Cynthia Erivo. It's absolutely beautiful. Two amazing voices together. So thanks for all these decades of just amazing music. I'm getting a little
Memories.
choked up.
I am.
All this amazing music.
She means so much.
That you've given to us, Dionne.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. I do. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Dionne Warwick, everybody. I mean, come on, man.
I'm in the back seat of this car listening. Do you know the way to San Jose? And we're going to San Jose. You know, I mean, it was like it's crazy.
Walk on by. Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right, well, we're rolling right from Dionne into another performer. And he's got a new film called Newborn, which is in AMC theaters nationwide. We've got him on our Xfinity guest line. Actor, producer, director, amazing as Dr. Martin Luther King in Selma.
Yeah.
And this new film is about this guy's released. He's been in solitary confinement for 7 years. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
You can't imagine what
powerful.
somebody
Yeah.
like that is going through. But please welcome this morning David Oyelowo to our program today. Hi, David. Good morning.
Morning. Oh my gosh, I just heard Dionne Warwick.
Right? We're still.
What am I doing on this radio?
We were blown away. It's one of those things where, again, it's not. I mean, throughout my life, the music of Dionne Warwick has been a part of it. So, but here you are starting your own legend, and I have to say, David, the subject matter of this movie is kind of hits home to this area because the prison here, Eastern State Penitentiary, which is a historical now location, and people tour it all the time. For a long period of time, it was a completely solitary confinement prison.
It was the first of its kind.
First of its kind.
Yeah.
And Charles Dickens came to the States and said it was the cruelest thing he had ever seen. It was literally driving inmates stark raving mad. And it sort of focuses on, your movie Newborn focuses in on an aspect of that, correct?
Exactly right. My character, Chris Newborn, has endured 7 years of solitary confinement and is dealing with all of the psychological trauma that comes with that. I mean, studies have shown that after 14 days, you're never quite the same again, let alone 7 years. So I can't imagine an entire prison devoted to solitary confinement. So yeah, but it's him trying to reconnect with his family, with his wife and son after experiencing that debilitating circumstance.
And the man who served sort of as your consultant and to kind of give you a perspective on this, he did time falsely, correct? He did 7 years and a lot of it in solitary, and he was innocent.
Yeah. Richard Rosario, who is the guy I shadowed, just to be able to understand, because obviously I think anyone who hasn't dealt with solitary confinement, it's almost impossible to know how that feels and what it does. So Richard very generously gave me his time and his experience and his emotions and vulnerability, but he was wrongfully convicted of a murder he didn't commit. He was actually in prison for 20 years. 7 of those were in solitary confinement. It was... He still deals with the effects of it till today, even though he was released 10 years ago.
It's a very powerful thing. We talked about this during COVID, during the lockdown, during all the damage that was done to people, all of the things that got exacerbated from alcoholism to drug addiction to suicidal ideation. All of that stuff just increased exponentially because it gives us a great appreciation of the fact that we need to be with each other. We need to have that. So how is he doing now after his experience? Obviously, he consulted you on the movie. Is he still haunted by that time?
Like I say, you're never quite the same again. But the beautiful thing about Richard's story and what we try to show in our story is that some form of redemption is possible with love. You know, his wife, Minerva, stayed by his side for those 20 years. And so he's now reconnected with his wife, with his kids. And what we see in our film is my character attempting to do that. I think to your point, we are just not designed to be isolated. To be human is be in human interaction. To be isolated is to be dehumanized.
Yes.
And what's so debilitating about that practice. But ultimately, our film is a love story. It's about reconnection after the destruction, as it were, of solitary confinement, all wrapped within the skin of a psychological thriller.
David, you mentioned redemption. Your character, what was he convicted of?
So he was, at the beginning of the movie, he takes the fall for his brother, who he loves deeply. And this is indicative of the man's spirit and heart. But then there's a prison fight that takes place while he's in prison, and he's defending an inmate who the prison guards murdered, but he's accused of it. And so he's just about to be released, actually, and he's wrongfully now put into solitary for 7 years for a crime he didn't commit. And, you know, there are so many people in prison generally who are there for things they didn't do. and being in prison is hard enough. Just imagine being innocent and then in solitary confinement.
Yeah, it's wild. Reading some of the reviews, which were very positive about the movie, a lot of people are making, notice of this Aiden Stokes, I think his name is. He plays your nonverbal son in the movie. Was this his first movie, or how did you come about getting him into this?
Yeah, he's a very young actor, and as you say, nonverbal in the film. I don't know if it's his first film. I know he's done some TV, but he is magnificent in this film because he does the hardest form of film acting, which is listening. All of his character is pretty much built around what he's hearing, what he's taking in, and he has these extraordinary eyes that tell you everything that is going on with him. It was a complete delight to work with him, and very much my character actually says at one point in the film to his son, "You are my mission." He is the reason why Chris Newborn finds new purpose, and to do scenes with Aiden was a real blessing.
I have to say, obviously Preston mentioned Selma, and you were in the Butler and The Help, and a movie that I really love, and we actually had the honor of having a Tuskegee Airman in the studio here, Red Tails. That had to be a cool experience for you. I assume it was.
Oh, it was a seminal moment for me. It's actually where I met Nate Parker, who directed Newborn. And that was 17 years ago we met doing that, but also to sit at the feet of George Lucas, who produced that film. I think so much of what myself and Nate have gone on to do has been partly inspired by George, because he was such a renegade, such a groundbreaking artist back in his day, and obviously completely changed the landscape of our industry. So to be with him and around him early on in our careers has been a huge source of inspiration, let alone the Tuskegee Airmen as well, who, most of them, if not all of them, are gone by now. But certainly when we shot the film, they were all in their 80s, nudging 90s, and just an extraordinary group of men to be around.
Yeah. David, another project I really enjoyed that you were in was Silo, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but sometimes TV shows can bounce around with their timelines. I did not know if there was any chance that we might see you in another season of Silo.
Well, you know what? That's the first time anyone's asked me that question.
I think he's making that up.
How about just knowing when the next damn season's going to come out?
Anything.
Okay, all right. No, but
I know I get asked that question all the time, which I think is indicative of the fact that the show is working, and that people's reaction to my character in that is something I'm very, very proud of.
Enough said.
I'll tell you what we need to see is I've seen you interviewed a number of times. You and Conan O'Brien have a nice friendship, and you're a funny guy. When are we going to see the absolute pratfalling comedy that you're going to be in?
I know we should find one for myself and Conan. I really love him. He's so funny. I think he brings out the funny in me. That's the thing with being an actor. I think because probably the role I'm most known for is Dr. King, and so for better or for worse, people feel like that's what I do. These dramatic, important things, which I'm very proud of, but I'm a bit of a goofball, really.
Yeah, you need to slip on a banana peel now and then, right?
By the way, everything we've mentioned,
I will take that advice.
Everything we've mentioned you in, you have an American accent.
Yes, yeah.
And do you mess around with your dialects, your American dialects?
Yeah, well, in Newborn, I play a guy from Queens, New York, which is a very specific dialect. So what I tend to do is I find someone from the place my character's from, and get them to record themselves, spend as much time with them I can, because the trick with doing an accent, especially when you have my accent, is not just the sound, it's the nuances. You know, Americans carry themselves differently. Definitely New Yorkers carry themselves differently. And so you want to not just be paying attention to the sound, but also the music, the movement, the attitude. These are all part of the equation as well. And it's a part of my job I really love.
Excellent.
Well, you're flawless at it, so yeah.
Absolutely. We'll just remind people that Newborn is in AMC theaters nationwide. David, it's great to meet your acquaintance, and hopefully we'll talk to you again sometime down the road. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
You got it. David Oyelowo, guys, on the Preston and Steve Show. Super nice guy. And we have another interview we're going to go to here in just a moment.
We went from Dionne to David Oyelowo to Mike Rainey.
Yeah.
Hey,
listen.
Pretty amazing.
Is he on the phone? Or
yeah, he's supposed to be on the phone.
Mike has often been referred to as the Dionne Warwick of local comedy.
He is. He is. In fact, he's on the line. Hey, Mike, are you there?
He's everywhere!
Oh, my God.
Wow.
He just said that out of nowhere.
Off the top of his head.
No, he'll be coming along in just a moment. Then I can take a second to mention this. Marcus in the Darkest and Team WMMR have the 12th annual Tap in the Spring fundraiser for the ACS Bikeathon, the American Cancer Society Bikeathon. It is coming up on the 25th, so a week from this Saturday. It's going to be at Brittingham's Pub, Lafayette Hill. And it's a bike ride. So it's 25, 30, or 35 miles, and it starts at 9 a.m., and they have a beef and beer that starts at noon.
Is there a half a mile?
Full day thing. There's not a half a mile.
Half-mile bike ride?
Son of a bitch. Damn it. Raffle prizes. They got beer from Broad Street Brewing, and they have the cases of the Hey Yo Hazy IPA and their new Wild America Variety Series. He's also going to be giving away MM barbecue tickets while he's there, too. So great food, drinks, $45 per person. Proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. And then the ride itself, the Bikeathon, is going to be Sunday, June 7th, and that's where you go across the Ben Franklin Bridge and end up in Ventnor. It's a cool. How many miles would they say that?
It's a 65-mile ride.
Okay,
which it sounds like a lot, but it is very, very doable, especially if you're any sort of.
You can knock that out.
If you're a bike list, you can do it.
Not that I've done that, but I remember when you first started doing this, you're like, when you are with a group and when everybody is going along, it kind of flies right by, and you're keying off of the communication that you're having with other people, and it kind of distracts you a little bit.
Well, and then honestly, if you can get into a Peloton, that's like a group of riders, and then kind of hang towards the back, they just kind of drag you along.
Do you feel when you're doing that? Do you actually feel can you perceive the being pulled by the drag of the other?
Yeah, and so you feel it in this way, Steve. Because I have on my watch, I know how fast I'm going, right? Like it'll give me my miles per hour. And you're going like 20, 22 miles per hour, and you're barely even putting forth an effort.
Yeah,
you know
that
that you're being pulled along.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I just texted Mike to find out where he is.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he gets back to us.
Okay. I have a couple other things I get
cool.
to. There was a plug I want to do earlier. I have the information now, a butt plug. Well, actually, no, Marissa, you were going to send that information over to me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to that yet.
Okay. We'll put that on hold again.
All right, fine.
But I did get this email, Casey, it's specifically about you.
Oh, good.
It says, hey, Presbo. This is from Jen C in South Georgia. She says, hey, Presbo. Was listening to today's podcast. Casey mentioned his Super Bowl confetti in a mason jar.
Yeah.
And it triggered a memory of a conversation. Did Casey ever pick up his fish memory box thing from the Framer guy?
Yeah.
That's a thing that I forgot I remembered. Love you all.
It's a thing I forget that I remember all the time. No.
You haven't?
No. So what they have is they have something that they framed for me. That I had. I can't remember. I gave him like 3 different things. I had these collectible baseball cards. I had my first ticket stub for my first Fish concert ever, and then I also had this really badass poster that I got from the Atlantic City shows. It was like a Lucy the Elephant, but like post-apocalyptic. Really, really cool looking.
What about the collection of stripper lollipops?
I got hungry one day, Steve, and I ate them.
Oh,
yeah.
no, man. Those are keepsakes.
And I I forgot that. I remembered that.
Okay. All right.
I need to go get that. Oh my God. Because it's been years. It has been
that above all, especially considering that of your most profound fandoms, that's top of the list.
It's this framing store in, I believe, Wayne. It's on Route 30 in Wayne, like right.
Wouldn't it be
near the
wild if
Wayne.
he went out of business because he was framed for a crime?
Oh, the train station right there. I wish I could remember the name of the shop. Oh crap!
By
I
the way,
totally forgot about that.
Good framers and people who do it. I mean, they're you find one, you keep them.
It's art.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you saying, I remember that I forgot, or I forgot that I remember that. It reminds me of when Harry met Sally and they're at the New Year's Eve party and he goes, Auld Lang Syne. He's like, should old acquaintance be forgot? He's like, what does this mean?
What's it mean?
And I think she goes, and I love this line, she goes, I think it means we're supposed to remember that we forgot about them.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Remembering about forgetting something. I would like to pose something, and this is completely out of the blue. That this email from Jen made me think of this. I think we need to have a destination for people who have questions for us.
Yeah,
like the version of a suggestion box, but a question
or
box.
Just a question box, or
like an AMA. Ask me anything.
Yeah, totally.
Remember those were hot for a minute?
Yeah, I was talking about when we had Stuart Copeland on the other day. He does that all the time on his Instagram, and I love it. People will send messages and ask a particular question, and he will answer. It's on something you wanted to know forever about, the police.
I love it.
And but if there's something that you have for us, but I want a place for people to pose those questions.
I was actually just thinking about this the other day because I started to put in my mind like a Preston and Steve FAQ page. Like all the time we'll get like a text that says like, oh, what's that restaurant you just mentioned or something like that. And I don't know if everybody knows. Frequently asked questions. Yeah. I don't know if everybody knows that like you can download the podcast, or even if you're on YouTube watching us, you can hit the rewind button and you can rewind back 5 seconds.
No.
And listen to it again. But if we do something like this, Preston, where it has a space where people can enter in any question and we get alerted, that's a great space
Can we
too.
set that
on
up?
our website.
I would like to be able to do that where we can get those, and then I can have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then we can roll them out from time to time and answer your questions. Because replying with an email it's great, gets the information across, but I some of these things I'd like to expand on, and I don't like typing.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
And I would like to really tell you the story that you want to hear about.
You're more a calligrapher.
It's beautiful. But no, I would like to be, there are some that need a little storytelling to them, and I would like to have the ability to do that.
Well, one person's question might be the question a number of other people have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you can, answer all those people at once.
So we're doing an AMA right now.
No. I mean, I want to take phone calls.
DVDA?
On that. A DVDA. All right, everybody. Here we go.
Close off.
Let's get ready.
So do you want people to type in the questions or call in with the questions?
Type in
with the questions.
email them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get my email box overloaded. I'd rather have a space where they go to.
Send your questions to dear Captain Elliot.
Oh, my God. But yeah, I would like to where they send them to us, and then we can read them and then talk about them.
Done. In a couple of days, we'll have a space up on PrestonandSteve.com where people can write in anything you've ever wondered about.
I love it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Done deal.
All right, well, listen, I'm making a call.
Make the call, because I can almost guarantee you that Mike Rainey is sleeping right now. He's resting up for his big show at Parks Casino 360 Lounge. And
like we had, who was it the other day they had to cancel?
Oh, John Michael Higgins. Yeah, he had the
stomach bug, right?
He's everywhere.
Yeah. It was bad.
It's bad, man. And it was all over the place, right? He actually was listing all the places.
Yeah.
There's everywhere. Damn it. There's on the windows. Oh, my God. My house is full of He's everywhere.
And the thing
Look what he did. He all over the wall.
He's such a soft-spoken, gentle, thoughtful comedian.
That's Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. Well, let's take a break.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
come
do
back in a second. Bizarre File is coming up, so make sure that you stay with us.
Yeah, just one more.
Okay. So I'll try to get through this quickly because we have to go on Fox Good Day. But this was in 1998. Gallup in USA Today called up just over 1,000 Americans on landlines and asked them for the best predictions about a year in the distant future, 2025. So they had to make predictions. This is an old survey.
I love this. Yes.
And they're now.
When was the survey conducted?
1998.
Okay.
So a polling archive
71 years ago.
Maintained by the Roper Center at Cornell University.
Run by Mr. Roper.
And Mr. Furley was the president at the time. So here's a look back on some of them held up. Some were surprisingly prescient. Most Americans predicted that over the next 27 years, the country would have elected a black president, gay marriages would be legal and commonplace, and a deadly new disease would have emerged. Most people in 1998 correctly doubted that space travel would be common for ordinary Americans or that alien life forms would have made contact by now. So they got those.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, they got those correct. Here are some of the other ones. 68% believed that physician-assisted suicide would be commonplace. It's become more commonplace.
Yeah.
67% said an environmental catastrophe will have occurred. 66% said that the country would have elected a woman president. That hasn't happened yet, obviously. 64% said illicit drug use, such as marijuana and cocaine, would be commonplace. You got the marijuana part right.
Absolutely.
61% said that people would routinely live to be 100 years old. Not quite that.
Yeah.
60% said that AIDS would be cured.
Well, we're there.
Pretty much happened.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped. This is the last year for the AIDS walk.
Yeah. And the AIDS fund is over. Yeah. So 59% believe that cancer would be cured by now. They're making inroads, but that's not, obviously, that hasn't
Just reading
happened.
an article that there are more people surviving cancer now than ever before.
I'm sure, yeah. This 56% said that most stores would be replaced by shopping on the internet.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of that has happened.
Getting there, yeah.
52% most people said most people would do their jobs from home.
A lot
of that has happened. And 51% said the United States would be involved in a full-scale war between then and now, 1998 and now, 1998 and now. What they thought would be less likely to happen. Do I have time?
Yes.
Okay. 38% or 67% that cars would not be largely replaced by mass transportation, so that hasn't happened. Cloning of humans would be commonplace.
Not the case.
But 60% said no, it would not be the case. 65% said that most people would not be self-employed.
What about unequivocal confirmation of space gorillas?
That wasn't asked.
All right.
Although it said 68% believe that humans would not have or received contact from alien life forms by now.
So it falls under that category.
Yeah. Most believe there are a few bright spots in Americans' outlook. Most believed that race relations would improve and that medical care would be more available if less affordable. Well, neither one of those has happened. And also, they didn't think that space travel would be common for ordinary Americans, but they got that right. So it's kind of an interesting peek back and look at 1998 and what people thought would happen by 2025. And that's your survey. It was an overcast day when I pulled into the area on January 12th, 1996. I drove from St. Louis. I packed up all my stuff in my Camaro.
Yes,
and
perfect car to move in,
and hit the road. And I paused on the way. I didn't drive straight through. It's like a 16-hour drive or
world's
something.
biggest ball of yarn.
There are things to see. No, I stopped in Wheeling, West Virginia, and I stayed for one night. And then the next day I get up and I made my drive into the area, and then I set up camp, and I've been here for 30 years. So it marks that timestamp today.
It is well worth taking time, and as we said earlier, and repeated a couple of times in case people are saying, wow, Preston's really going off on this. We were the ones that wanted to do this because it just seemed like an interesting ability because of the realizing that the blizzard of 96 was right at the time you came here.
Yeah.
And you rarely get that time to kind of just sort of, everyone was getting nostalgic anyway, looking at all the pictures and the archival pictures, the Inquirer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, my life shifted dramatically in all fantastic ways, and we were also lauding the power of the city of Philadelphia and the great people of Philadelphia who've done so much for all of us in immeasurable ways. And it was worth, as we thought, paying, tribute to that.
It was a leap of faith in my world and my wife specifically. We'd only been dating for like 2 months, and she agreed to move here.
She hadn't gotten the detective's report back on you.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, we were still waiting for that to clear, so she had no idea. But thus is the world of living in radio at the time can be very transient. You can expect to pack up your stuff and leave and go to another city because formats change, positions, get switched out, and then all this. So I was not planning on this being my forever at the time because I was just being realistic about it. I'll probably stay here for a few years and then I'll have to go somewhere else,
But it would be safe to say that the impetus for the move and the leap of faith was greatly fueled by your belief in this gentleman we're going to talk to.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of that, Steve, you had asked, do I remember what that day was like when I pulled into town? I absolutely do. It was gray. It was overcast. There was snow on the ground everywhere.
About
the
3
streets.
feet.
The streets were clear. Everything was good. It was very drivable. I didn't have any problem with that. So that was a big concern that I had. But I eventually made my way to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I get off at the Willow Grove exit on 611. And it was at that point. Now, mind you, you didn't have GPS.
Right, yeah.
Cell phones were still sketchy at that time. So I pulled over and I went to a payphone somewhere. There's a gas station or something. I pulled over and I called the gentleman who we're going to talk to now. And I said, how do I get to the radio station? And then he gave me the directions the rest of the way. And from there, so that's how it worked out.
Just follow the old people.
Yeah, to the Benson East building.
Yeah.
But the guy that gave me a job, that changed my life, that created the career that I have now, is joining us now. It's our good friend and former boss, Mr. Jim McGuinn, who's joining us via Zoom this morning. Hey, Jim.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Nice to see you, brother.
Hey, don't worry. In another 30 years, you'll actually be considered a local. So you're almost there. You're halfway.
It takes a while.
Being a Philadelphian.
Yeah, it takes a while, most definitely. Jim, by the way, how much sooner than I were you in Philadelphia? Like maybe a month or something like that?
No, I got here around, I think it was Halloween. I feel like G Love was playing as I was like a show in town the day I drove into town. And I was like, oh, I've heard of G Love. Like that's how new I was as well. Because I moved here. Yeah, like end of October, 95. Yeah.
Jim and I knew each other from St. Louis. He programmed another radio station. I worked at a separate station, but I was in the programming department. So we met each other at concerts, at events, things like that. We knew each other through record people, and we played golf a few times.
We played golf together, and I think you get to know somebody when you're doing that, right? And even though you were Kenny Knight, the top 40 guy, I was like, oh, that guy's pretty cool. Do I call him Kenny? Do I call him Preston? I still feel that way a little bit.
Well, there's a little bit of Kenny in everyone.
And you know what? What kind of did it? So Jim got the opportunity to move to Philadelphia and helm WDRE. I had gotten word that he was leaving, so I just called and left a voicemail, and I said, hey, man, sorry to hear you're leaving, but then again, I'm glad you're leaving. Because he was a formidable competitor.
He was tearing it up.
He'd done wonderful things with the radio station, the Point in St. Louis. And I'm like, I'm kind of glad you're leaving, and I'm not happy you're leaving. Anyway, and I said, good luck. And then, like, the next day, I get a call back, and he's like, hey. He's like, you didn't need to do that. That was really nice. And you go, and you were in a unique position that you needed to hire an entire staff.
Yeah, so, and Steve knows this story as well. So DRE was a station that was actually owned by the people that owned WLIR in Long Island. And it was simulcasting mostly from the Long Island station. And my whole pitch to the ownership, because the station had terrible ratings in Philadelphia, I said, maybe you should put some local hosts on that could program it for Philly instead of these Long Island folks. And so they agreed. And so I had to put a whole staff together. And that wasn't easy.
Isn't it amazing to think, Jim, that the same thing that sullies a lot of the industry is that, well, we'll just broadcast from another location, was the argument that you fought successfully against, created a version of DRE that easily eclipsed the New York version at that time. There was a lot of indecisiveness that was going on. So, and then DRE became this buzz station. And so you're off and running.
Yeah, and I lived in Philly for 3 months back in like 91, and so I had a smidge of understanding, but not much. And I'd also lived in Vermont, so when the blizzard hit, I was like, what do you mean you can't make it into the radio station? Don't you have four-wheel drive in your car? Haven't you ever driven in a 3-foot snowstorm before?
I remember you telling me when I got there that you ended up like sleeping at the radio station and people had to pull doubles and just to make it work.
And you know, I mean, the Benson East was quite a luxurious radio station compound that we were operating out of.
It was. I mean, I love the stories of people who arrived because Preston was recounting last week as we were sort of talking about doing this thing today. Jim is that this is going to be obviously this is going to be a high tech. This is going to be the pinnacle. It's a major market, and it was like lower than the lowest. Again, it was in a facility that was essentially a retirement complex. There were a few restaurants. It's just a bizarre collection of businesses and things. And then there you were. But in as much as that was the case, it also helped breed the attitude that you were looking to cultivate.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely an us against the world kind of thing, or us against our own company, who were nice people. But it was just like, why they put the radio station there? I mean, it's hard to get to Jenkintown from almost anywhere in the Philadelphia metro, and we had to go there every day. And this is before you had, you know, automation and voice tracking, and you know, the overnight person had to get there and be there live. You know, everybody was there all the time.
So Jim, I had you know, I came here sight unseen. I packed my stuff and I came. I never visited. I trusted.
I guess I'm a better salesperson than I thought.
I trusted Jim, and not only did I have dreams of a gleaming high tech studio with all the bells and whistles and toys, but not only that,
I better get my monorail pass.
I also had a dream of, you know, the concrete jungle in the city, skyscrapers. I'll be in the middle of it all right here downtown.
Yeah.
And I pull into Jenkintown and that building, and I'm like, wow, okay, all right, so I'm not there because I didn't ask any questions. I just showed up, and then I walk into the actual studio, and Brett Hamilton was on the air. He was our midday guy, and I was so disappointed. And he could see it on my face because I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of looking around. I'm looking at this crappy blue foam on the walls and, you know, all of these, and taking it in. And Brett, without me saying a word to him, he just looks at me and goes, yeah, I thought the same thing when I first came in here, too. I was like, wow, he read my mind immediately. But what it ended up being is a really charming place. It had a kind of a, I don't know, it had a vibe to it that was just like Jim said, us against the world.
That was it, clearly.
And kind of ragtag, and let's make this thing whatever we want it to be.
And there were a number of ways to break at that time. You could be inauthentic about it, or you could be the real deal. And Jim McGuinn and DRE at that time was the real deal. And it came across. That's why it still is spoken of in reverent terms these days, because it was that. But I mean, to talk about what happened with Preston, and you, Jim, and I got the opportunity to tell you at the Camp Out for Hunger a couple of years ago, I owe the same debt of gratitude to you. It was you pairing us together, and you sort of seeing this and allowing the opportunity, and then that set everything in motion.
I mean, the work you guys have done over the decades here is just amazing. So congratulations on, you know, 30 years, almost 30 years for you guys. You know, 28 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So unbelievable.
But for those who don't know,
or dumb luck, or maybe it's just dumb luck. I don't know.
Let's go with dumb luck.
Yeah. When you're accepting the award, you say, I saw it all. And then when you're with your friends, you go, it was just dumb luck.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, Jim not only programmed WDRE, but then when that station went under, and it was a whole corporate thing that ended up happening because of that, some of us segued over to Y100, and Jim was the program director there for the remainder of the radio station. So we worked together for a long time, and he assembled the Preston and Steve show. The Casey, Kathy, Nick, Marissa, Preston, Steve, the whole crew came together because of Jim.
I remember calling down for a gig I was going after in New York, Jim, and I was just asking you your, you know, if you had some behind the scenes intelligence you could relate to me. And you know, Preston's on the show down here, and I'd done the Riverdeck Cafe, the remote broadcast at DRE. And I said, hey, well, you know, let's see about that. And I remember, and I mean, I knew that's, you know, because it was just that vibe. I mean, I don't know if you can appreciate it, and you probably can. You've had people who have obviously been mentors in your life or that have done this. But I mean, we were talking about the sheer bizarre domino nature of things, the way they need to fall to basically tectonically change Preston's life, to change my life. Yeah, and you were unaware that you were holding that key.
I had no idea. Well, none of us had any idea this would turn out.
Yeah. Clear for landing.
Does that mean anything
no,
to you?
I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
It's been so. I was trying to I watched Top Gun a million times. I love that movie. I know how you guys feel about it.
No. I'll tell you this.
I like it.
I always liked it. I like it much more since Maverick. I think it put. Would you agree with this? This one put the first one, gave more of an emotional context to the first one. And so I appreciate the first one more.
I don't know. I didn't go back. I just love Maverick. I always thought Top Gun was good in a cheesy way, but
exactly.
But I thought that they did a little bit too much playing around with the military and kind of adding too much Hollywood flair to it.
Sure, like the volleyball.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the beach football.
I loved that movie so much.
Or even the locker room. I remember when they were filming it, and they were who directed it? I don't remember.
Tony Scott.
Yeah, he's like, we need a locker room. Where's the locker room around here? They're like, we don't have a locker room. It's like, well, we're going to make one because I wrote this scene in the movie. So
the ice jaw clench.
Oh my God,
that hurts every time he does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that's what killed him.
Dude. That really?
Yeah,
that's
it wasn't
what
the
killed
throat
Val
cancer.
Kilmer. I had no idea.
He dislodged his brain during the teeth clamp.
Dude. All right. Well, anyway, the reason we brought that up is, earlier this morning we did a little aviation conversation, and they brought out my old flight helmet from when I flew with the Blue Angels. And
God,
it's
so
not
emissions.
real. It's a football helmet with a mask.
No, it's
taken
not.
off.
It's a completely legitimate flight helmet.
Hey, Preston, never leave your wingman.
Yeah. Never leave your wingman. If we've learned anything from Top Gun, it's that.
I love this picture that they just had up because it's you, and then behind you is Pierre.
I know.
Canadian Pierre holding up the peace sign like War and Peace.
Casey, let me hear you do your teeth. All right, go ahead.
Ready?
Yep.
It's amazing.
Pretty good, right?
Do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's hard.
Yeah.
You got to use it.
I did. I found this. What is this thing called, Preston?
slapstick.
A slapstick. I found this yesterday. I'm like, we never use this.
Yeah. It's an actual percussion instrument.
Yep.
So, okay, well, enough of that drivel. Let's get to the bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by Horizon Services for drain clearing, surge protection, and whole home generator installations. Count on Horizon Services Plumbing and Electrical. You can book now at horizonservices.com. A woman in Lee County, Florida seems to have been misinformed when it comes to traffic laws pertaining to speeding. Syria Lopez was clocked by police briskly cruising along at 123 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. But the interesting thing is the 25-year-old was pulled over, and she defended her speeding, telling the officer that she thought it was all right because he has a Toyota Supra, so I thought it was okay to go fast.
That's that little-known law that says if you have a Toyota Supra, you can go 70 miles an hour over the speed limit.
So she was talking about the male passenger who was along for the ride. I guess she was driving his car. For those who aren't sure, it's not the case. You can't do 123
Has
miles.
any car manufacturer made a deal with
Maybe somebody out there has got a special deal with the police where you can drive as fast as you want to. I'm not really
value
sure.
added?
All right, here's a police story. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, County Sheriff John Allen said the sheriff's office fired a deputy after his county-issued AR-15 was used in a New Year's Day killing. But it's interesting on how this ended up being the rifle that was used. Allen announced the firing and said Deputy Jacob Zamora had worked at the sheriff's office for a year before the agency terminated him on April 7th. He said when his firearm was stolen, he did not report his firearm to be stolen to us or anyone at all until we found out from the ATF that our rifle was used in the commission of a homicide. But it gets more interesting. Allen said Zamora replaced the missing county rifle with his own personal AR-15 so that supervisors would not catch that it was gone. And then, of course, the worst case scenario is it's used in a crime.
It's the absolute nightmare.
Allen said Zamora is out of a job. He's also said any criminal charge decision will be up to the police department and the district attorney's office.
You've got to report a missing firearm immediately.
Even if it means getting in trouble, you have to do that. All right, a Los Angeles County supervisor is calling for a federal investigation after a large chunk of ice fell from the sky and through the roof of a home on Friday. The incident occurred Friday when the block of dirty, foul-smelling ice smelled through the roof of the backyard dwelling. It must have been really stinky, I guess. So,
everywhere.
And they said the resident said it sounded like an explosion.
There's everywhere. Damn it! There's on the windows.
I hope Bob is up in heaven looking down and enjoying.
The piece of ice left a hole in the roof. The resident looked at flight tracking data and surprised that an aircraft was operating directly overhead at the time of the incident. An NBC Los Angeles meteorologist who is also a licensed pilot said debris falling from the aircraft could sometimes involve frozen waste or water. The source of such ice could be the aircraft's sinks. So
They'll usually demur from these kind of stories, but you hear more and more stories about fairly large chunks of waste from a plane coming down and crashing through roofs.
You mean like poop?
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God! My house is full of
All right, enough. We're idiots.
I know.
One last story. A 911 dispatcher was reprimanded for responding to a mother's plea for help with an unruly child by saying, "Okay, do you want us to come over and shoot her?"
Oh, no, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
I just found a gun.
The dispatcher, Mike Forbes, said, "I admit what I did. It was stupid. It was inexcusable, and I'm sorry." The woman, identified only as Lori, said she recently phoned authorities after coming home to find her daughters fighting. She told the dispatcher her 12-year-old kicked a hole in the door. Now, this is not an emergency, obviously.
But it's a kerfuffle.
After Forbes's comment, the woman fell silent for about 5 seconds, and he says, "Are you there?" And she goes, "Excuse me?" So Forbes...
You know what? Yeah.
A dispatcher for 5 years told her that he was joking and apologized, but the woman was offended, and Forbes immediately told his supervisor what happened. The police chief, David Van Laar, said this type of person cannot be tolerated, and this letter shall serve as a notice to any future unprofessional responses while answering the 911 line will be cause for termination.
So we know two places you probably shouldn't joke if you're an air traffic controller and a 911 dispatcher.
Yeah, probably. All right, it is a little after 10, so we're a couple minutes behind, but here we go.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a keyword.
All right, the word is gold, G-O-L-D, and you now have 25 minutes after the hour to enter it. You can do it on the MMR app at WMMR.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. All right, one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley, so make sure that you answer your phone. The contest rules are available at WMMR.com. And Preston and Steve's No Sad Dough is sponsored by Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. So make sure you enter it now. The word is gold, G-O-L-D. We want you to win, so make sure you give it a shot. We're going to take a break. Come back in a second. Less question, trash, music, news. They're coming up.
Right? But
Yeah.
I do remember, and I found this a couple years ago when I moved back to Philadelphia from Minnesota. And Preston, are you okay if I share just a little smidge of the thing? We reached out, and I found the offer letter that I sent you.
Yeah.
To come to afternoons.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like, "Dear Kenny Knight," and it said, "We'd like you to come to afternoons at DRE." And I'm pretty sure the number was $45,000 a year. Like, we can pay you a whopping total of $45,000 a year if you would move all the way across the country. And I think we gave you like $1,000 moving expenses.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah, to pull up stakes, to shift your life.
Ask your girlfriend to move to Philly on that and come to Jenkintown, work in this facility, and good luck. But you know, we're going to play a lot of Oasis records, so that's going to be a lot more fun.
I have the letter. It's framed. I have it at home.
Oh,
So,
all right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's up on the wall.
Yeah, it was like all the big bucks for you, Preston. and then, yeah, Steve. I mean, you know, think about this. Like, you used to drive down from New York to do that remote gig in Manayunk, and you were just really funny together. And it was like, wow, that guy Steve, he's pretty funny. We should do something with him someday. And when we first got the show together, you were still commuting back and forth. You had not committed.
I had not committed
for a while.
No, and we had just, Claire and I were, just gotten married, and she had gotten a gig up there, and I'd tell Preston. I remember pulling into Manayunk down to do that thing at the Riverdeck Cafe. So it was a live party broadcast, quote unquote, with the happy hour. Nobody's in the club at that time. And Preston was back at DRE, and I go down and do this stuff. I'd never done stuff like that before. But I remember pulling into Manayunk the first time I'd ever seen it, and I'm like, who the hell would live here? Only for me to live there for years. I fell in love with Manayunk. Yeah. So that's the nature of life,
Yeah.
Preston, what's the story about changing your name? Because if the letter was to Kenny Knight, Kenny Knight's not too much of an alt name, but whose decision was it to go by Preston Elliot?
No, well, I wanted to go back. I wanted to use my real name, my real first name, and I changed my last name. And actually, Sarah Clark, who did mornings on DRE, kind of helped me out with that. I threw a few names at her, and she's like, I like that one. So Elliot is what I ended up going with.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that time you had all the rage in the alt community was Monkey Boy and Altar Boy and all of
Casey
these
Boy.
pseudonyms.
Casey Boy.
Yeah.
Jim was Rumor Boy.
Rumor Boy.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
What's the story behind that?
Well,
I don't even remember. Why? I mean, it just makes no sense.
You would give us inside music information that you would hear from record people about, rumblings.
There's a rumor.
There's a rumbling that Sponge is going to be, they're going to be writing a new album next year, whatever it is. But it would be Rumor Boy, and we would bring him on. Yeah.
So, Press, how long was your tenure at DRE? I know that ultimately the radio station went away, and then I want to ask about the transition from that, Jim, to Y100.
DRE was a shade over a year.
Okay, wow,
that was it. But I mean, man, when I tell you that the memories are vivid and significant to me.
Seems longer than that.
It was so much fun, and I can't believe we crammed all that into a year.
That's a mind blower, because it felt like we were doing that Riverdeck thing for longer, but it couldn't have been more than 7, 8 months.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Jesus,
it was that one summer, right? Because it wouldn't have been through the winter, I don't think.
Yeah,
we had no budget. We had a terrible signal. We had no budget. We were this very left of center musical outlet that had a lot of young adults that liked, but it was kind of hopeless unless we made stuff happen. But we did weird stuff. I mean, we had a football game with listeners. We played soccer against the Cure. We had the whole tripping
with Vinny, tripping Thursdays. The King.
We did all this insane stuff. The
King of DRE Fest. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we had some guy who got to intro a band,
and we carried him around on our shoulders and stuff, and we did.
And we lived it, we lived that culture. That's the thing, is we were there all the time.
That's why it rang true.
We had a number of great guests stop by. I'll just rattle off a few of them, but I remember had Fred Schneider in the studio. I had the Talking Heads in the studio. I had Brian Setzer stopped by. One of the first artist interactions I did with a female singer named Poe. She was there that first week. School of Fish. Man, it went on and on. We had so many people stop by.
Sure, it was one of the great things. We talk about LIR, Jim, in New York, and KROQ and these or PIX even in New York. These stations, they were the only outlet for a lot of these bands. So there was. Yeah. They had to schmooze or drop by. They had to do anything to get into the good graces of these stations, and that provided accessibility.
Hey, so when DRE went away, was Y100 already lined up, or?
So DRE sold, and I remember I met with the owner and I said, and this is a time when, after the consolidation, Telecommunications Act of 96, all these radio stations were being bought and sold and gobbled up by corporate entities. And I met with the owner and I said, I don't know if we can get the ratings to get the money in that you want to make. This signal actually doesn't cover the suburbs very well. It covers like the city and the close Jersey area and stuff like that. And I think a light bulb went off, and a month later he sold it to Radio 1, which flipped the station to an urban station. So where the signal is much more competitive. Yeah. So it made sense, you know, and he made a ton of money. He like quadrupled his money in 4 years of owning DRE down here. So, but we were competing as Y100, and I would say we were kicking them in their shins pretty hard. And they had just lost their program director, Garrett Michaels. And so they called me and said, would you come over when DRE goes away? And I said, yeah, but I got to bring some of my people. And we brought a lot of people, including Brett, including Preston, you know, and a bunch of folks made that jump with us to Y100. And that's how that started, actually.
Yeah, Marilyn was on board for that too.
Yeah.
And Dan
and then
Fine.
I think it was and you know, and these are people. There's such a weird, like, when you've been through like a weird battle kind of camaraderie, that we're all still friends today. You know, 30 years later, we all still, whenever we can, we hang out. Whenever we can, we try to get together and reminisce, but also like share that we had this really great thing that we built.
A wonderful thing. And it was just a blip, or at least DRE was a blip in our careers. And you and me and Brett and a few others get on a text chain and reminisce about it from time to time. I also have to point out how cordial Jim was, because when I first moved here, I lived with Jim and his wife. Oh boy, for a couple of weeks, maybe even like a month. I don't know, but we lived in that apartment in the Corman Suites. You remember that?
Oh my God, yes, vaguely.
Which is terrible because I was a smoker and they weren't.
Oh man!
And it was the dead of winter, and I'd go out in the hallway and smoke.
Oh my God!
That sting on like winter smoke.
And the rest is history, and it is a 30-year-old history, which is, I love this. I love this ability to be able to do this because, as we said earlier, Jim, you know, if anything has taught us in the past couple of months, that the ephemeral nature, obviously, of life reminds us.
Yeah.
And so it does not hurt to take these pauses now and then.
Shimmer from Fuel. 93.3 WMMR, everything that rocks. We are the Preston and Steve Show. It is a Thursday. Tomorrow we'll give away our Word of the Week prize. Tell you more about that in a little bit. Matt will be along shortly. And we'll get a letter for the day and then the word for tomorrow. And then we're on into the weekend. Hopefully you got some good plans. The weather is going to cooperate fantastically this weekend. It's like hot today, high 93, but tomorrow's high is 83. Saturday is 75 degrees. Sunday's the cool day, or starts to get cool. Light rain, high of 60. That's when things change a little bit for us. So,
and I think
and then Monday is going to be the cold one, high 52.
If I'm correct, Preston, the rain is coming in the overnight on Sunday, right?
Don't know.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, it should be serviceable. So, we are going to ask you a question, see if you know the answer to it. We're going to give away a pair of 4-pack of tickets, actually, and FanFest access for Monster Energy AMA Super Motocross coming up Saturday, April 25th at the Link. Here is your question. What sweet treat from a stripper almost got Casey in a fight at Show and Tell?
It's true.
610-660-9333. Let's see if you heard that. It was around 7:30 this morning. What sweet treat from a stripper almost got Casey in a fight at Show and Tell? If you know the answer to that, call us right now. We'll give you a moment to do it because we'll get into the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Dermatology Associates of Plymouth Meeting Research Department. A pediatric hair loss study is now enrolling kids aged 12 to 17 with severe alopecia areata. And you can learn about hair loss research near you at PlymouthMeetingDermatology.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, Guy Fieri responding to criticism after he was seen greeting controversial brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate to a UFC event. Fieri invited anyone who had a problem with him to, quote, take a trip to lick my taint down.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Ethan Jameson, who played a tribute in the Hunger Games, was arrested on 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and intent to kill. Jameson explained his action, saying he was hungry. And finally, American Pie star Shannon Elizabeth announcing the premiere of her OnlyFans account, saying she's finally taken full ownership of her sexiness. That ownership is revealed in the first photo set, which shows Elizabeth inserting a lacrosse stick.
Wow!
That's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty, to the phones we go to get an answer to this question. What sweet treat from a stripper almost got Casey in fight at Show and Tell? And we have, first caller in is Janelle, so we'll go to her. Hi, Janelle. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you, Janelle. Thank you. Okay, what was that sweet treat from a stripper that almost got Casey in a fight at Show and Tell?
That was a lollipop.
Lollipop. Hang on, Janelle. We are going to give you a 4-pack of tickets and Fan Fest access for Monster Energy AMA Super Motocross. It's going to be Saturday, April 25th at Lincoln Financial Field. Tickets are on sale now, and you can go to supercrosslive.com to get them.
Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Rita's. The Rita's Gelati Sundae brings San Ice, frozen custard, and toppings together in one cup. Stop by Rita's. Build your gelati masterpiece today. Before I get into music news, you got 10 minutes left to enter the word for No Sad Dough. It's gold. Just a quick reminder, gold is the word. In case we run out of time, I want to make sure that you knew that.
I thought you were going to play the S clip.
I mean, I can if you want me to.
It's gold.
He everywhere! Look what he did! He all over the wall!
Okay. So a federal jury in New York has found Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster liable for illegally maintaining monopoly power in the concert ticketing market. The case, brought by the U.S. Department of Justice and dozens of state attorney generals, argued that the company controlled too much of the live music ecosystem, ticketing venues, promotions, and booking, leading to higher fees for fans and fewer options for artists and venues. Jurors agreed, finding Ticketmaster overcharged concert goers by about $1.72 per ticket at major venues. Additional penalties will be decided later by the judge. There's probably steeper things, or hidden charges and all kinds of stuff that they're looking into. Live Nation disputes the ruling and plans to challenge both liability and damages, saying the affected tickets represent a limited portion of its business and estimating damages under $150 million before potential tripling. The verdict is seen as a major win for consumers and state regulators, though the final outcome, including possible charges to how the company operates, or changes, I should say, will be determined in the next phase of the case. John Bon Jovi, well, let me start with what this is. I'll tell you who's in it.
Okay.
The 250th birthday of America, shaping up to be a party, of course, and announced yesterday, Music of America, the songs that shaped us, a 2-night concert at Monmouth University. The concerts will take place June 4th and 5th at the Ocean First Bank Center on the Monmouth campus in West Long Branch, New Jersey, just before the grand opening of the new Bruce Springsteen Center for American Music on June 7th. Among the artists scheduled to perform over the 2 nights are John Bon Jovi, Jackson Brown, Roseanne Cash, Kenny Chesney, Gary Clark Jr., Dionne, Dropkick Murphys, Nils Lofgren, Darlene Love, Public Enemy, Bruce Springsteen, Mavis Staples, Trombone Shorty, Steve Van Zandt, Jimmy Vaughn, as well as others. Yeah.
Jimmy!
Tickets for each concert will be sold separately at noon on Tuesday, April 21st, and you can visit the center's website for more details and ticket information. This is a pretty cool little thing. A listener sent me this morning. For decades, a guy named Adam Jacobs has been recording live music shows. His collection of over 10,000 shows since 1984 feature the likes of Nirvana, R.E.M., Bjork, The Pixies, Depeche Mode, Liz Phair, Sonic Youth, The Cure, Phish, Fugazi, and so many more. Wow. And with the help of the archivists, the entire collection is making its way to the Internet Archive. That's the name of the place where you find it.
Was he a bootleg recorder?
Yeah, so he's just used a tape deck.
Yeah.
So the growing Adam Jacobs collection is an internet treasure trove for music lovers, especially for fans of indie and punk rock music during the 1980s to the early 2000s, when the scene blossomed and became mainstream. The collection features early in their career performances from alternative and experimental artists like R.E.M., The Cure, The Pixies, The Replacements, Depeche Mode, Stereolab, Sonic Youth, and Bjork.
I wonder how much of that was recorded illegally. I had a friend who got caught bootlegging a Doobie Brothers concert.
Yes.
Oh, man, 80s.
I heard about
Late
that
70s,
somewhere.
80s, yeah.
So listen, there is also a smattering of hip-hop, including a 1988 concert by rap pioneers Boogie Down Productions. Devotees of Fish were thrilled to discover that a previously uncirculated 1990 show by the band is included as well. And there are hundreds of sets by smaller artists who are unlikely to be known to even fans with the most obscure taste. All of it is slowly becoming available for streaming and free download at the nonprofit online repository Internet Archive. Some of the shows, like a pre-Dave Grohl one from Nirvana, were recorded before the bands hit it big. And he said, this person who wrote this article said, it's wild to hear their performance of About a Girl get about 3 claps from the audience.
It's that's pretty crazy. So I had a friend years ago who, Preston, he was the bootlegger. He was the guy who traded the bootleg concerts. And he had, you remember those old style briefcases that were actually cassette holders? They were just, you'd open them up and there'd be like 100, because he had tons of those things.
Yeah.
And he had the most obscure stuff. He lived in that world, loved it.
Well, this guy had 10,000 or so, and they are now being cleaned up and digitized, which is pretty cool. One of rock's most famous unreleased albums is finally seeing the light of day. Look Outside Your Window, a 10-track side project recorded in 2008 by 4 Slipknot members, is being released as part of Record Store Day, credited under the band name Look Outside Your Window rather than Slipknot. The project, featuring Corey Taylor, Jim Root, Sean Clown Crayon, and Sid Wilson, was recorded during downtime from the All Hope Is Gone sessions and has been described as experimental, melodic, and closer to a Radiohead vibe than Slipknot's usual sound. After years of delays and repeated broken promises, a limited pressing of 2,300 vinyl copies hits participating stores on Saturday, with a broader physical and digital release expected on June 12th.
It's essentially a hard rock retelling of the story of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Look out your window. There he is on the front lawn.
All right, and then one last story, pretty reckless. Taylor Momsen was hospitalized in Mexico this week after a venomous spider bite she suffered about a week ago developed a spreading rash up her leg. So we told you about the initial spider bite. Well, now she started getting a rash after that. That's not a good sign.
No, it can absolutely happen, and it is a bad sign.
But apparently she's doing okay. After posting an Instagram photo of her hospital visit Tuesday, she wrote, "The show must go on," and let everyone know that she'd be performing last night. She received treatment before the earlier show as well, requiring a doctor's injection when the venom first affected her system.
There have been some side effects because the selfie she took, she was standing on top of the head of the Statue of Liberty.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're looking at the video of it right now. So there's a scene in the pit where a woman comes in with a rash, and they did the same thing to Taylor. They took a Sharpie and drew around it, and then you can see if it spreads. This girl ended up having a really bad problem happen. But
our friend and coworker Tim Graham, he had a recluse spider.
Oh no!
Bite him, yeah.
Did they do
years ago.
the pen thing?
I don't know, but it will actually it has a telltale circle around it itself.
Yeah, a friend of mine got really sick one time. He got a bit on the thigh, and it started to necrotize and everything, and he got really ill, like physically ill, so it can happen. But
was he able to produce spider webs from his wrists?
You've seen the movie about his story, his life story, yeah. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in music news. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment, and we will wrap things up. Stay with us.
Good place, and you've had a bit of a run, and you're still surrounded by people who are, critical and contributed to your quality of life. Both of us.
Yeah.
But Preston hitting the 30-year mark is definitely worth taking a look back.
Yeah, and Jim, I want to jump in here and point out the fact that your decision to move to Philadelphia and then ultimately call Preston to move to Philadelphia has resulted in millions and millions and millions of pounds of food for Phil Abundance.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars for Phil Abundance. Preston's entire family. Jim, my entire family, like none of any of that stuff
would have
happened
Jim
if it
and Gwen.
wasn't for you. This butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the work you guys have done, and we started that at Y100, the camp out, and it's just the way it's grown and how it's become like such an important part of the fabric of the city. It's just something you guys should all be proud of. And, you know, I this is like when we were talking about the morning show and Preston moving from afternoons to mornings. So we were at Y100, but I will never forget, Preston, I was sitting at my desk in my office. You were in the doorway and we were talking and you said, I would really like to try morning. So I was like, are you going to really get up in the morning? Are you, you know, knew you at that point, the way you were.
Yeah.
And you said to me, I want to have an impact on a city the way a guy like Pierre at MMR has had an impact on a city. Yeah. And this is years before you would work at MMR. This is before you'd even started the mornings. And that was sort of the gold standard that we would look at as far as somebody who had come into a town and really become part of the fabric of that town. And, you know, you've done it.
Well,
I mean, maybe not the first 29 years, but now you've done it.
Yeah. I listened to the Pierre's presence in this town just loomed so large. And, you know, I would never compare myself to his level, but I do remember being, I want to be the outsider that came in and found a home and found an audience.
As Pierre did.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from San Francisco.
Again, very similar.
Showing you the miraculous mix of people that is this great city, the people, surrounding areas, all of it is meant. I mean, coming down from New York for me, this is my home. I'm you know, and as you say, give another 30 years, which I'm sure I'll make.
You'll be accepted. They'll let you park in South Philly on Broad Street. And I also remember, Steve, this one meeting I had as we were forming the show together, and we had a kind of a outside help, like a consultant was coming in to help us, and I was kind of, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, I was commiserating him. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work because Preston's not really the kind of guy that reads a newspaper. Like, he's a great guy. He's a great guy at the end of the bar you want to hang out with. Yeah. Steve's got the news. He's got the news. Preston, I'm not so sure. And the guy said to me, he goes, that's okay. You don't have to change him. He doesn't have to read the newspaper. He can be the guy that doesn't read the newspaper. And then Steve could tell him what's going on. And that was...
You know what?
That was it.
You know what is so funny? I still use something similar to that, Jim, as a justification today. Like, if there's something I'm not into that the rest of the world is like way into, I'll be like, well, I'll just be the guy that represents the rest of the people that don't get into it.
Right. And that was for me a lesson on how to build a morning show. It's like, oh, right, you can't have 5 people that are all like the same. You got to have a whole bunch of weirdos that come together. No. And together, if they're curious about the world, it's going to work. Yeah. And it works.
Well, you've had an uncanny sixth sense about that, and your ability to be good natured and have a paternal-esque care for the people that were under your control, so to speak. It's meant the world. I mean, it allowed you allowed us to grow in the way that mattered. You were always in there swinging for us. When you made a call that didn't work, you would tell us and say, what can we do? And I mean, I don't possess that skill. To do what you do at the level you do it and have done it, I'd be an abysmal failure because it's something that I think is in your DNA, and it's an amazing thing.
I want to piggyback on that because Jim, and I've worked for several program directors, but Jim, you have a way of encouraging and inspiring people that I've never quite experienced with anybody else. And that's one of the coolest things about you. And I know we didn't always see eye to eye on stuff. Jim and I we'd butt heads from time to time. Jim would always tell me, by the way, he could tell when I was mad at him because I would use his name. I'd be like, no, Jim, I don't think so. And he's like, I know when you're mad at me.
The thing that, I mean, look, we were, I was, 28 or something when I came to DRE. Like, I can't believe they gave me the keys to the radio station at that age.
Yeah.
Like now it seems like, wait, I was a baby. We were all babies at that time and learning how to work together. And the other thing I learned from you guys were really hardworking and you had this like office bullpen and you would meet every day and powwow with the show. And this was the first real morning show that I'd also been a part of helping, foster. And I quickly learned that any idea of mine, if you guys weren't into it right away, I had to just give it up. And because I would try to be like, no, you should really do this. And you'd be like, and then you'd do it and it would be terrible. And I was like, all right, lesson learned. They will do what they want to do, no matter what I tell them. So,
but it takes.
I got to learn. I got to reshape this. Yeah,
it takes a certain person to do that who doesn't in a huff go, God damn it, I'm going to ram it down your throat. You wanted the best product, you wanted the best for the listeners, you wanted, and that's why it worked. So
I also like the attitude that we had. Jim, I want to ask, whose idea was it to take out that full page ad in the city paper?
Well, there were
I remember
different controversial ones. The one with the F-bomb in it, or the one about MMR. So,
No, the F-bomb one in particular.
Oh yeah. I think that was me. Same thing. Y100 didn't have a big budget, and I think we tweaked the format to include more like active rock. Like we were playing Metallica and heavier bands that we hadn't played earlier.
Yeah.
And so what the ad was like, we effing rock or something.
No, it was F-U, we rock.
Oh, yeah.
Only F was not abbreviated. It was fully spelled out.
Yeah.
I know what it was. We were just getting brushed aside publicly by, for whatever reason. There was an air of that they're just those guys over there doing this thing, and we were like, dude, we're rocking over here, okay?
Yeah.
And it was F-U, we rock, and we got some crap for that.
It's a city paper, though.
And God bless Lynn Bruder, our general manager, who had to walk that into the owner, Dan Lerner, who was not pleased with that ad and walk that thing through. But he was great. I mean, he's the guy that gave us like 6 Volkswagen Beetles to give away and all this stuff. But I do remember an ad we had. I'm going to share this, and it's going to be hopefully funny, at DRE, where MMR had changed their slogan to say, "We've grown up, you've grown up."
That's right.
That was the slogan they were using. And we were at DRE, and we were the young punks, and we were like, that's so stupid. That's a terrible slogan. And the next week we ran in the city pages.
Like that song is from Dog Star. It's called All In Now. And that's Keanu's band. Keanu Reeves plays bass in the band. And we had been giving away tickets to the show. We got another pair that we'll give away tomorrow morning with our stupid questions. So, glad they're coming to town. And I like the sound of that song. It's cool. 10:31 on this Thursday morning, and what a morning it has been. We had a really, really good time today. Hope you were along for the ride, because we got a chance to talk to Dionne Warwick today. Dionne Warwick,
so cool,
legendary singer, performer, and she was very, very sweet. She's an elderly woman, obviously now, but
80s.
Yeah, the song that she and Cynthia Erivo have done together sounds really beautiful. And we had a chance to talk a little bit about her career. We found out some really surprising things, like Luther Vandross was a giant wrestling fan.
Who knew?
No idea. That she and Snoop Dogg are pretty tight.
Yeah.
And she had wonderful things to say about Jerry Blavat. They were very, very close. He broke her as an artist in Philadelphia.
It's cool to hear that,
Yeah, so it was really nice to talk to her. And then a super cool guy was David Oyelowo, with the movie called Newborn, which is coming out in AMC theaters nationwide. He was really cool.
Yeah.
Too. And those were all our guests, but we had some nice chats and everything. So.
And we added another new sound effect to the roster, or drop, and we love it.
Yes.
There's everywhere! Damn it! There's on the windows! Oh my God! My house is full of He's everywhere! Look what he did! He all over the wall!
It's Bob Saget.
It's going to take a while for that to wear down on me.
I am still cracking up. You were doing a live commercial, and I was sitting here laughing my ass off just thinking about it. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is. Matt Cord is here. Hey, man.
Hi, guys.
Nice to see you.
I had to switch the channel during that real quick.
Why?
I don't like poop humor.
I'm with you, Matt.
You carry on the legacy of Pierre.
Right. Yeah. Right. The fart jokes.
Marissa doesn't like it either.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Have fun sitting right there, Marissa.
I know.
On board.
I've been doing that for 20 years over there, too.
Yeah.
The worst was when Casey would get a new fart, and then he would send it to me, and I'd have to listen to it in my headphones.
Yeah.
It's, first off, it's, that's all right.
I love your show, though.
But we love you guys.
Yeah. That's that. So anyway, Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
That was great. I didn't. So Luther Vandross is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. She should induct him.
It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that point. Yeah.
And then the Snoop and Tupac.
Yeah.
And Suge Knight. All showed up for a summit because she felt that the lyrics.
They showed up on time.
Yeah.
7 a.m. Crazy. So I think I stole this coffee today. So my wife told me today is free coffee day at Wawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think you have to do it. Like I just went in and poured it and walked out.
You have to be a rewards member. Yeah, so I think
they used to do that, right? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wawa day, you could go in and get a coffee and just walk out.
And I think it's probably a 16-ounce coffee, not a 24-ounce coffee. But
Free hot any size.
any size?
Yeah.
Get out.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Well, download the app right now.
It takes 2 seconds.
I have the app.
Yeah.
Well, then you're a member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just didn't check in with them.
No.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Right.
And
I
what
go
about-
there a lot.
What about the money you took from the register?
Yeah.
Was it the Wawa by Rocky Run by any chance?
That's my Wawa.
That's-
They have the best coffee machines. They grind it right in front of you.
Oh, I didn't know that. I hadn't seen those.
And a lot of times you have to wait we're grinding at 45 seconds, 43, 42.
Okay.
But it's the freshest coffee.
That's excellent.
I remember. So that one, you remember, we used to go to the old Wawa when we were at Y100.
Oh, in Lima.
Right. So it was right on the corner, and it had a. In Casey, you remember, it had an active grill.
Yes, it did.
Much different. It looked more like a diner.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just had a different vibe.
Yeah. Didn't you used to pick out your roll and hand it to them to make your hoagie?
Good, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, and the pickle?
Yeah, the pickle thing.
pickle tub.
The tub? Yeah, the barrel.
God, we went there every day after the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That and the Country Deli. I know you guys are
Yeah,
Country
we
Deli.
were regulars there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's still there.
Ah, the good old days.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get the letter, Matt.
Go
Here
to
we
Grand
go.
Run Mall, do
Preston
a
and
lap.
Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the President and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
R as in Rufus.
Rufus.
Yay.
I remember that band. All right, we are going to give away a Lee Cronin's The Mummy prize pack. You end up with a $200 gift card as well as a series of collectibles, including a Mummy branded lunchbox, an official poster, branded themed sweets, a t-shirt, and 2 Fandango tickets. Lee Cronin's The Mummy invades theaters and IMAX this Friday, April 17th. All right, what's happening today, Matt?
Okay, we got Gene Simmons tickets for Lame Ass Trivia at 11:40. It's Thursday, so D Student Trivia at 1:40, a $50 Papa John's gift card. Our blocks today, this is the debut release of the band Temple of the Dog.
Wow.
I love that record. I'm
Absolutely.
going to play some Chris Cornell, too.
It's
because
awesome.
there's only 3 Temple of the Dog songs that you can really play. I mean, you could play, but in that, too. And I'm going to play a Chris Cornell song, and I'm going to play You Know My Name.
Yeah.
And then the Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah,
Oh, I
got
love
that.
it.
Yeah. Of course I know your name. You're Pierre Robert.
Yeah. Listen to you all my life,
and
man.
he played it when Chris was right here in your studio. He played it for Chris. I remember watching his reaction. And he was like, that's great. And his wife, I think, asked for a copy of it.
Yeah. She didn't believe it. She thought it was staged.
Yeah. So that TOD, it's Peter Garrett's birthday today of Midnight Oil.
Yeah.
So we'll play a block of Midnight Oil and a block of the Eagles. And today's vinyl cut, Thompson Twins. No. Jefferson Starship.
I love that album.
Red Octopus. And we're going to play Miracles.
Miracles is one of the
Right.
greatest romantic
Which I
songs.
thought Grace Slick sang, but it's not Grace Slick.
Marty
It's
Balin.
Marty Balin.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Matt's got some cool stuff for you, so please stick around. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, voted best casino in Pennsylvania by Casino Player Magazine, and by Family and Company Jewelers. Save hundreds, maybe even thousands on the ring of her dreams at the Viraggio Bridal Show, April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Oh, by the way, you have No Sad Dough coming up, too.
Oh, that's right. I forget.
12 tomorrow.
o'clock.
What made me think of that is it says No Sad Bro on this list here, which is tomorrow, Friday. It's a beautiful thing. And we'll also have Check M6 ABC comedian Zoltan Kazaz will be joining us in the studio. We'll have the connoisseur and more. So that is it. We are done. Rage on and have a great day in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Preston.